second. And the FC shifter is a 2-piece, and it ripped apart. So it's a little stub. And I'm like, how you do that shit, right? But whatever, I had just stuffed it back down to load it on the trailer, and I didn't really like get it all the way down. And the last time I drove it, like, I shift lightly. I've been driving these cars so long. It's just like, it's like that meme with that dude driving the bus. Just bring it down. So that's kind of how I drive the FC,
like,
right? Yeah, it's just like ding,
ding. Like, man, oh man, yeah.
So I drive the FC like that. But yesterday I was chasing Alex, and the car just does not have enough power. So Alex was smoking me out. So I kind of got into not panic mode, but I was like hella quick with my movements. So when I shift hella quick, I pulled the shifter off, and I was like, oh damn, because it was lightly attached.
Right.
So anyway, long story short, I went down the hill, so I'm chilling. Then Alex comes in after. We're there talking, and then the dude comes. He's looking for the car. Alex's car was kind of sitting out way like 20 feet from where we were at. The guy sees the car, so then he walks up and he's talking. Oh yeah, I tried to chase you and this and that. And so then he's like, do you have an Instagram? And I'm looking at dude. I'm like, damn, he has no clue who he's talking to.
Yeah. Alright, what's going on YouTube? It's going to be Donnie coming to you again from Masala, Japan. This got my guy Lex with me as always. Like somebody said in the comments, man, he pretty much a co-host, which is pretty much the truth. But you know what I'm saying? It's just he's a regular in here, and we keep it going like that and everything, man. So get right into it, Lex, man. What's been going on, man, since the last time we spoke?
A lot.
A lot, yeah. It's good, man. It's good.
Yeah, for sure. It's everything's good. I got motivated recently to get back driving. Well, matter of fact, after this whole getaway driver shit, I'm like, I'm going back and driving my actual car. So yeah, I pulled the turbo off. Sent that to ATP to Garrett, essentially.
Yeah.
Got a new core put in it, and just finished buttoning that back up after I got off work a little while ago. Just primed it, fired it, and we're ready to go drive this weekend, man. I'm motivated to drive more.
Yeah, man, because I know you hit me up. You was like, yeah, you checked out my stuff, and I kind of like, man, that's why I'm like bad at the vlog shit, because I had it going for like 6 days, and I was like, man, get out of here with that shit. Like it's like, you know what I mean? Because I was on a quarantine, and then as soon as that ended, it was like back to normal. And but it runs and everything. I'm just waiting on it, some intercooler piping, and I can get that done. I could go do some full boost pulls. And the cool thing about this one is, like, you know, it'll benefit me because, you know, with the single turbos, you got to really dial them in and get them, like, you know, you can't. People think you could just slap a turbo in there and hit all the boosts. You got to dial them in. So I got some Tomei twins in it, which they're good for about, I think, 550, 600. But they're OEM like specs, so they're used to that. The CFMs are matching the engine and all that stuff like that. So it should be cool. It should be cool to get some points on the boards and various MSC, whatever. Then, you know, FD, they got FD Pro 2 here now in Japan.
It's actually called Pro 2.
Yeah, it was called this is called FDJ2. That's
gotcha.
Yeah, that was as creative as they can get with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's going on. So, and essentially, man, my thing with the COVID stuff, I still want to get over there for sure. I'm definitely going to probably get with you with getting somewhere to get a car placed on the West Coast, and then also I'll get a car on the East Coast at Bridgemoto. But with the COVID and everything, man, honestly, after experiencing that 14 days, man, I'm not leaving America again. I mean, leaving Japan again until this shit's done.
That's really a
that
big
was rough, bro.
Man.
That was rough. I mean, like your shit, like I was saying on my thing, I would only do this if I'm starring in Last Dragon 2 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, that's like your shit was worth it. All the shit you went through for the show, you know what I mean, was ultimately worth it, you know what I'm saying, to get on there. But it got to be, not saying the Atlanta joint wasn't worth it. It was cool to meet up with Alan, but coming back, man, the money loss and stuff like that, it just, you know.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like I said, I had to connive my way back. I had to look at airports that didn't require the 10-day isolation after you flew back in from out of state. So it was like I was looking up shit like that, like how do I maneuver back without losing the money and shit like that. And
yeah,
it's pretty rough coming from out of the country though.
yeah.
Like I was looking at those DDE guys, so they finally got back down to the U.S. from Canada.
Yeah.
And now the COVID cases are getting bad out here again, which they're possibly going to get trapped here in the States. So it's like, dude, yeah, it's rough. It's a rough game to play, man.
Yeah, man. It's just one. I mean, right at the back, man. One thing I'm getting pissed at is the motherfuckers who keep trying to make it. Like I made some masks when it first popped off, right? And then I stopped because I'm like, dude, I don't want to. I'm not taking money out of my shit to put merchandise in to do more stuff, man. And it's like now dudes are coming out with the beard shits that go over the beard now, where it doesn't go like it's like people don't understand, man. They're constantly trying to monetize this shit, so the government's gonna be like, okay, cool, let's run with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think as a whole, man, like it's gonna take everybody to be like, dude, we gotta get the fuck up out of this shit, man. You know what I mean? Like this is it's crazy, dude.
You know what's funny is when this whole shit first started, I had made like 3 or 4 different types of masks.
Yeah.
But when I started really looking at it, like I had a supply of them. When I started really looking at it, I was like, I don't want to sell these to people,
right.
Because like making a profit off of the pandemic, making a profit of something that's going completely wrong. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
So I've kept them. All the masks that I've always been wearing with the Riot Squad on them and shit. I got the red, blue, and white ones and everything. And it's just like I couldn't see it, man.
Yeah. And I had the same thing, man. Like I was joking about it. My wife actually thought I was serious. She went. The only reason I sold one because she did spend the money and got the stuff. And I mean, they went. It was like in that first couple of months, and everybody was like, "Oh, well, we just got to conform and do all that shit, right?" And she got them, so that's the only reason I actually made them, and I got them all. But after that batch, I said, "Don't order no more." So that's why you see you never see me really post them after the fact. Like they're on my website, but I gotta take them off. And I had some other ones ordered. Dude, I was gonna get those jackets, but I'll cancel that too, man, because I'm not trying to. I can't tell motherfuckers don't contribute to it, and then I'm contributing to it. And that's just my thing, man, because people like making like outrageous, like the whole little fucking head capsule shit. I'm like, man, it's getting stupid, bro. It's getting stupid.
Yeah, I just couldn't. I not all money's good money.
Yeah.
And I didn't want those dollars, so I've just had an endless supply of my own personal masks.
Yeah.
Going through the shit. And it's funny because I take so many COVID tests. I took one today because I have to get into a site. And the only way they're going to allow me access is have the vaccination proof or take a COVID test within 48 hours.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, I'm so good at this test, I ain't even got to study no more.
Yeah, man.
I'm taking so many damn COVID tests.
I'm definitely well over 1,000 in tests, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's $1,000. You know what I mean? It don't seem like a lot to a lot of people, man, but that's $1,000 that could have went towards buying a mount kit or buying something that'll get one of my fucking cars running again and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then I took 3 in the span of 48 hours when I came back because I took the antigen by mistake. I didn't know, rookie. And then I looked on the paper and luckily, bro, I'm lucky. I sent the picture to my wife and I noticed it said PCR no, and I was like, oh shit. I'm like, dude, we need a PCR. So luckily, because I just went there 5 minutes ago, I paid the difference and they did the swab again, and I could tell because the antigen one it was like a regular ass Q-tip, and then and like a regular ass Q-tip, she just stuck it right in like the bottom of my nose. I'm like, that's something's wrong here. And then I went back, and of course, when I went back for the PCR, came out with that big, long, thin motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah, go up in your thoughts.
Yeah. Then I got another one done. When I got to Japan, they made a spit in the tube, and then I got another one done, to confirm that I'm done with quarantine. So I got 4 in the span of 14 days. You know what I'm saying? So
it's weird about this shit, man. So my baby girl's teething, so she's getting her teeth in the back. Right. And you know what happens with kids, they snot and they might run a little fever when they're teething.
Right.
And we're looking at her, hitting her with the goddamn temp gauge, like, yo, little bitch, you better not have a COVID. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, damn, man, this whole thing is crazy. It has everybody like, you know, you look at everybody strange, and as soon as people could take their mask off, they're ripping them off.
Oh yeah.
And like, I get it, but
because even here, man, like you know, before COVID, you know, what I mean, it was like I know one Japanese guy, like, I mean, this was like 2008. This guy wore it just some people it becomes part of their like wardrobe, and like
yeah, it's part of mine now. Now it's like I don't even leave the house. We don't have the mask mandate no more, but I still keep mine in the vehicles on me. It's just part of it.
Some guy, like some Japanese here, man, they'll have like a face deformity. Maybe they had an accident or some shit like that, or something happened by birth, and you'll notice like they don't take it off. And I had like one guy, and I guess he maybe it looked like a dude had an accident with a goddamn angle grinder or something, like his lip, like a deep ass gash from like his lip, like to his cheek, and I guess he don't like the way it looks, and he just wear a mask all the time. So one time I went in the lunchroom, and he was there, and like he kind of covered his face with his hand. I'm like, dude, I'm not, you know, I mean, I'm not attracted to dudes like that. You know what I mean? You're cool. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, he wore a mask all the time, and that's what a lot of people do. Some chicks don't like their face, and they just wear a mask all the time. It's just everyday mask.
I know, because they look hot to the motherfucker.
Just the eyes, and they got like some maybe their teeth were like they don't got the money to fix their teeth because that's the thing here.
Yeah, it was this girl today. I was going through somewhere.
Girl.
And I looked and was like, damn. But she had pulled her mask off to do something, and then I got the other side of damn.
Yeah. Hey, dude, that happened to me on the plane. Like, I ain't gonna lie, dude. That happened to me on the plane when I flew from Texas to Georgia, right? Like, you know, they pack like on that final one for. I mean, you know, you're on the international, you're spaced out on that the international connector. That shit was like sardines. They was like, we packing all y'all close. So I went and like the chick, it was me. Yeah, it was the chick I sat next to. Like, number one, man. Like when I sat next to her, like, you know what I mean, like, man, like legs, everything, man. I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? She had the curly hair, and all you can see is up here, right? And also she was like, you know, some people on the phone on airplanes, they got to like try to like. They get on the phone for some reason, like, and she was like, "Nah, I told you to send it here." I'm like, "Damn, she's a boss too," and she had an engineering book, so I'm like, I didn't know, I'm not a small talk type of guy, so I just said, you know, hello, blah blah blah, and that was it. So I'm sitting next to her for like, you know, a couple of hours, and so the whole time she had a mask on, right, and I'm like, you know, she, like, I keep seeing a glimpse of her thigh. I'm like, I can't ignore it, and then towards the end, did she pull that mask down? I'm like, oh, it wasn't. You know what I mean? It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, it just kind of just threw me off because the bottom didn't match the eye portion, and she was like a lot older than I thought, you know, because the mask was just showing like the eyes and shit. But that was, I'm pretty sure some chicks probably ran into some dudes like that too, you know what I'm saying? And,
oh, for sure.
Yeah, man. But getting right into it, man. Hey, man, I know, like, just fresh off, I got a few things here I want to talk about. Which of course we're gonna hit up the LZ acquisition, and like I say, man, the people, you know what I mean, people say, you know, some guys like, man, you giving this guy free press. I'm like, bro, you got 3.5 million subscribers. I'm not the only one posting this shit or whatever, man. And it's cool stuff because, again, like I tell guys, man, it's a character thing. I could be like, nah, man, it's all about me. I did this week or whatever, but I'm good and secure where I'm at. I know what I'm doing. I finally got a chance to talk to the cat face to face again. Like I said, no cameras, no crew, so he knows me. You know what I mean? And he I'm pretty sure of all the people he met, he knows I ain't after whatever he got. You know what I'm saying? So
right. That
eventually we'll connect and do something or whatever. But I kind of made that clear. Then of course Ryan, our guy Ryan, man, Ryan is yeah, man. We got to talk about that. And that went.
You've been paying attention to
that? That went nuts. And then, of course, I want to talk about some FD rounds coming up. But before we get into that, man, did you check out a little bit of the last podcast with Matt?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, man.
I watched that, and you know, he does get a lot of backlash.
Yeah.
But it's just the wording.
Right.
The pro driver.
Yeah. And you heard what I said to it, and I was like, that's what you heard when I kind of like, I was like, well, I mean, I was kind of correlated to the skate because he mentioned the skateboard, wakeboard, and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, that's true back in the day. But even now, with like if you're a pro skateboarder, like it's a lot more difficult to become a pro skateboarder because they were giving it out like candy back in like when Tony Hawk first started and things like that. You know, granted, Tony Hawk is definitely a pro, and you know what I mean. So you got that. So you know that's why I kind of hold off on saying it because I only did one event as a pro driver. I got top 16 and that was it. So I think to embellish on it, you got to be a guy like Daigo, even though he's not going to be like I'm a pro driver. People already know he is.
But I'm glad that he broke down the pro, because the cut and dry of it, the optics of what he says, pro driver, this and that, has nothing to do with the talent, and that's what people are putting on the same level as the pro.
Right.
They're putting pro talent. That's what they're putting together.
Right.
The actual definition of pro is profession.
Right.
Right? If you're getting paid for something, you're a pro driver. I, at one time, was a pro driver in Pro-Am. I was paid by Fat Lace Illis brand. They paid me to go drive a whole season of events. Clothing, I had everything, and I was paid. I pocketed money. When I was on the podium, I had to have my branded clothing on.
Right.
I podiumed a couple times during that season. It's just like, but I know my modesty would never allow me to say pro. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand the work that guys put in that are synonymous with pro, and I had just now tipped my big toe in the water. So I get it. He's just taking the literal sense of it and doing it, but it's the same. It's a lot of YouTubers that do that, pro this and that, rates your blah, blah, blah. It's just the thing that they're rating other people's shit and then they're adding or calling themselves pro on it. Because like when I'm at the track, so many people ask me to help them with their line or tell them what they're doing wrong. I could do a whole series of pro driver rates your driving style.
Right.
Pro driver rates your line. But just the optics of what that is, it takes too much ridicule from whomever don't like you, whomever don't think you're accomplished, whomever just is having a bad day. So, but they're coming to his channel. The interactions are up, commenting either opposing or with it. All feedback is good feedback.
Yeah.
All views are good views when it comes to YouTube.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing about it, he found an angle, and it's cool because if you just put drifter rate, the pro thing, like guys understand, man. Like even with LZ, if you look at his, I'm not sure what the analytics are, or you could. I think Social Blade will show you the age demographic. So my demographic is like 25 to 20 something to like 35, 100% male, 100% male.
Oh, really?
I have 0 female subscribers. It appears. So it's 100% male.
Got testosterone.
Yeah, so it's 100% male, 25 to 35. So I mean, then people were like kind of taking a jab at LZ, which we'll talk about later. It was like his demographic is like 13 to whatever. Like, bro, it don't matter. It doesn't matter what. They're subscribing, they're watching, they're clicking. He's getting the AdSense. So it's like, we'll talk about him later, man. But for Matt, like I said, putting the pro thing in the title, I think he already knew he was going to get slack from people. He got slack from, but at the same time, I mean, it's working because the demographic is seeing, oh, this is a pro driver taking time out of his day to come here and make a video and talk about whatever. Right. Because so many other guys out there, I know you know a lot of guys too, man. They kind of get in that vibe where like they feel like they're like a become an E-list, like they're too good to be in this circle. They're too good to drive in this event, and it's like, hey man, if it's like that, it's cool, but that's them. But some people carry that energy like that and everything. So I think a lot of people out there, when they see a Tony Hawk or they see the Cam Newton, when Cam Newton went back to help the guys out, and then the dude started lipping off at him, and then Cam Newton was like, I'm and that was kind of like, for Cam to say what he said, you probably seen that video when Cam was like, dude, I'm a pro, I did this. And everybody there knows what Cam, like, that's like one of those things where you ain't got to sit.
You talking about when the little boy tried to mouth off to him?
And then you can't, and the thing about it, like, that Cam's a man, he's all American, all that stuff, right?
And,
but it's like, you can't you all that shit aside, you can't strip away what Cam is. Cam is going to either be like blow it off, or he going to engage the cat what he did. And you know what I mean, some people like, oh well, he's punching down because he is wealthy and this and he worked hard to get there. But at the same time, I would be kind of pissed too if I was Cam, because I'm taking time out of my fucking day to come help your ass to get where I'm at. So
little motherfucker, I'm here.
Yeah, right.
Trying to get to the point where you even be seen to get here.
Right.
I'm here fucking with you.
Right. So that,
you know, it's like yesterday. So all the time, I always try to bring like our OG FD locals out here. Calvin Wan, Tyler McQuarrie, Alex Pfeiffer. So I'm always, come down. Fuck with us. You need a car? You could use one of my cars, whatever. And so I can never get everybody in the same place at one time, but I always get one or the other. Right. And yesterday, so we had Alex Pfeiffer, and I'm chilling with Alex. We went, did a couple drives, whatever, and how detached the age groups are.
Right.
This one dude, I've seen him. He's come before. We ended up parking beside each other in pit spaces, and he's a friendly guy, so he just started talking. And I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? So I engage, and we're talking. He don't know who I am. I don't know who he is. He just built the car. It was his first time out, blah, 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 right? So cool dude. And again, I don't lead with, hey, I'm Lex. I've been doing this.
Right.
I've done that. It's just, hey, I'm regular dude. If he liked the car, he commented on the car. Once we started driving, he likes to drive, and he comments on the driving. I let people be free with whatever experience they have with me, with their interaction, right? So now he's familiar with me. So then when we're at the track yesterday, I'm chilling with Alex Pfeiffer. Alex likes to chill in the cuts. Because Alex is hella grumpy. If anybody's ever met Alex Pfeiffer, he's a grumpy ass old man, and it's hilarious. You never take him seriously. He could be cussing up a storm, and if you just be like, shut up, right? It's always he's a lighthearted dude, but he's grumpy. So
right.
It's hilarious. So he stays away from everybody and just sits and drinks beers and smokes cigarettes, then jumps in his car and goes. So I guess when we went up on the hill, we were jamming. I came down because I forgot my shifter was messed up. I went to shift gears, and the shifter was looking like it was there, but it didn't move. So another guy jumped in.
What car was this?
I was driving a convertible. I let my friend drive it a couple months ago, and he, whatever reason, pulled super hard to shift a second. And the FC shifter is a two-piece, and it ripped apart. So it's a little stub. And I'm like, how you do that shit, right? But whatever, I had just stuffed it back down to load it on the trailer, and I didn't really, get it all the way down. And the last time I drove it, I shift lightly. I've been driving these cars so long. It's just it's like that meme with that dude driving the bus. Just bring it down. So that's kind of how I drive the FC, right? It's so I drive the FC like that. But yesterday I was chasing Alex, and the car just does not have enough power. So Alex was smoking me out. So I kind of got in not panic mode, but I was hella quick with my movements. So when I shift hella quick, I pulled the shifter off, and I was like, oh damn, because it was lightly attached. So anyway, long story short, I went down the hill, so I'm chilling. Then Alex comes in after. We're there talking, and then the dude comes. He's looking for the car. Alex's car was kind of sitting out way 20 feet from where we were at. The guy sees the car, so then he walks up and he's talking. Oh yeah, I tried to chase you and this and that. And so then he's like, do you have an Instagram? And I'm looking at dude. I'm like, damn, he has no clue who he's talking to.
Yeah.
Because for one, Alex doesn't do social media.
Right.
And so he's asking him, you got an Instagram? And I just kind of chuckled. And Alex was kind of like, he doesn't know how to answer. Nah, I don't. I'm old school. Fuck that shit. That's what he really wants to say. Fuck social media. But since this is a new kid, he can tell he's a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed newbie. And he's like, oh, I don't do social media. So I just kind of broke it. I said, hey, you don't know who this is, huh? And he's like, the kid was trying to run it through his head, and I'm like, how far back do you go with drifting? And he's like, I've been watching it since I was a kid. I was like, yeah, it's funny to say now.
Yeah,
You can say
yeah.
they've been watching U.S. drifting since they were children.
Yeah.
And I'm, well, if you remember back in the day, I was like, you remember the RSR Honda S2000? He's like, yeah. I said, do you remember I forgot the name of the company, but the Corvette that had the Rising Sun on the hood? He's like, yeah. I was like, that's who that is. That's Alex Pfeiffer. He was an FD judge as well. And he was like, oh, dude, that's crazy. Like, then he's kind of tripping out. And I'm like, yeah, this is Alex. He's like, oh, yeah, dude, I don't really know too many of the older drivers. I just know
Right.
the new guys. I was like, damn, that's a trip. But it was cool to kind of blend a demographic of a person that would, like, if you were watching YouTube, that this demographic would probably only know this type of drivers that's
Yeah.
on YouTube. They wouldn't know the old school dude that, was the first generation of US drifting that used to drift in Hawaii like late 99s, early 2000s. And,
Yeah.
they don't know those dudes. That's why I try to
Yeah.
bring Cal One along all the time. It's like I want to mesh those generations of drivers together because it's funny when you see these dudes, they have no fucking clue who they're driving with. It's just
Yeah.
like,
It's one of those
oh
things.
no.
It's one of those things where we're fortunate to be in the first wave of the. Well, we knew about it before it came here, got popping, and then we were like in that first wave, and it's like it's weird, man, because like you'll see dudes like weird, like Brewski. I had Dimitri Brewski on the
Yeah.
podcast, and then like we talk, and I'm thinking he, the way he kills it, I figured he was doing it for a long time somewhere else. Then he posts video of him in the paddock with like when he first went to an FD event, and then he got into drifting, and now he's a champ, and like that was in a span of within 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
But and that was like 2015. That was like 2000. Like that was like 2000. The double digits. It was like 10, 12, 11.
Yeah.
It was like not long ago, man. So like,
Yeah, it wasn't that long
yeah,
ago,
it
right.
wasn't that long ago. I'm like, nah, I thought when he told me, I'm like, no shit, man. So it's like, then of course, it's hard not to talk about LZ, man. But like, he was around. He did his BMX stuff. I didn't really know about that much. The first time I ever seen him was the video, I think when he just got the yellow S13, and I mean he was even younger, and it was just him and his girl at the time, which I know was and there was like something about that. I think they were getting married or something like that, and I remember there was cans on the S13 or something like that. Like they just got, that was his, like I guess his limo when after he got married. It was something like that.
Yeah, so you came in probably 2014.
It was right around
15.
It was right around the time when he got that didn't last long, from what I heard. But yeah, it was right around the time when he got.
It lasted long enough for him to learn a lesson.
Yeah,
I mean, he was for a while. I mean, I think I started watching LZ 2012, 2013, and she was on the channel then. But yeah, LZ has, for people that have paid attention, that have watched it and watched it unbiasedly, not to judge anything, because I know when he first started drifting, I didn't know too much about him. I just saw this dude with this car, and he was having rocker problems, I think. And I think it was his second or third time having rocker problems. So he knew enough to know exactly what it was, pull it off, or pull the valve covers off and get right to it. So I was like, okay, he must have been doing this for a while. I didn't know he had just started doing it. And so when I first was watching it, I kind of was judging his driving. Man, what the hell? He could have did this, or man, if he don't upshift or this or that. It was just my standard, because at that point in time, 2013, I was still new driving. I just started driving in 2010, so I only had 3 years under my belt. And so it was that, I think it was the competitive mind state that I had. I was looking at it like everybody's above me. They should be above me because I just started. And so I was judging everything. But once I started kind of like looking at it and then like getting familiar with enjoying his content, I stopped judging him. And then you kind of got to realize he's just gotten into this. He's learning. He's getting better. And then you can start appreciating, like, yo, my dude, you're putting in that fucking work. And then I think that's when I started talking to him on Twitter. And I was like, yo, I appreciate your work ethic as to how you're going about this world of drifting. Because now that he's focused on it, he stopped riding completely on camera, at least, and in vlogs. And he was responding like, yeah, dude, I'm trying, I'm trying to learn shit and this and that. And so it was just like, you got it, because the whole thing with this that we do, that we focus on, we pride ourselves in the work that we put in, the style that we acquire, and then how hard and how aggressive we could drive once we put all of that together. So I was just like, now you're doing fine, you're doing all right. And then that's kind of about the time 2015 came, when he came to Winter Jam, and I let him drive the vert and all of the chilling. So my personal interaction with him in real life, and then after that it was Super D, when we just kept running into each other, and it's just like, yo, high fives, good vibes. And then he bought JTP's rig, that toter, that rig that he has, that's JTP. So it's like we kept on having the connection. Colette Davis, his girl, I was talking with her when she first got into RXH. She had an FC. She was asking me where to go, who to go to. I did not know Daniel Cole was going to turn into the type of dude that he was at Garage Life and have her struggles that she had with him. But it's like, I kind of didn't advise that, but I suggested that if that was the agreement that she got from whoever else that she tried to pick their brain from, she ended up at Garage Life and in RX8s and everything, and in FC. So it's just like, it's hella weird, it's hella strange. These people could be this far apart, and then just all these coincidental things puts everything together, and it's just like, damn, cuz you was in the mix with that. Damn, cuz you was in the mix of that too. Damn, and then it's just like, that's that 6 degrees of separation, man. How? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a funny story, man. About like stuff like that was the I think I mentioned it before. I'm not sure, man. But I messaged. I think I'll talk about it a little bit, man. So I'm not gonna beat on it, but I messaged Scott from Grip Royal like a while ago, and he was like, I was trying to get the wheels over here. This is before Alan was really making wheels for Bridge Moto. And my guy Prakash was YouTube guy. He was a dealer for him, but it was like some guys just with the whole Japan thing, it becomes more of a hassle than it is a money maker. And I understand that now, like they don't want to do stuff or whatever. And then fast forward all this years later, then it's just me and Scott at the event chatting. And then, flash forward to that night, it's just me, Scott, Tune by Force, all the guys, like at Alan's table, a round table with no shit, a round table. And we're all just like vibing, no videos, no cameras, no recorders. Like
the best.
Crazy stories, shit that, again, that don't get posted online. Nothing, no shit talking about people, but it's just like there was names brought up and those people were talked to and things like that. And it was like, damn, man, we're all like, all that stuff, and we're all we're all here in Georgia. Talking about Georgia at a table up in the mountains and shit, talking and stuff like that, man. And I know it happens a lot to the, how many times you see Kanye and all these guys, and nobody ever know about these meetings, but it'll just be all the elites at a certain location vibing, and then every next morning Scott goes back to where he's at. I go do my thing and everything. So it's like you acknowledge that, man, and I think it's becoming a cool thing where even like with LZ, I could tell he's good with he could tell he's good. He's a vet at it for sure. There's a time for the camera and there's a time not for the camera. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they figure because he is a vlogger that he always wants to have a camera in his face too. You know what I mean? Because that would have been an instant. If I talked to him that day, like I say, only 5 minutes or whatever, we were both packing up and getting out of there. But if he rose up to me like he did, which was, you definitely see me there and seen the truck there. If I bust out the camera, I'm like, hey man, so what's up? That would be an instant fucking like, nah, dude. You know what I mean? On him. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's one of those things where a lot of people don't realize there's a time for the camera. Even in Japan, I go to a lot of these shops and there's things that some people don't want you to see yet. So you can't go into a shop. We talked about this before, about maybe 10 podcasts ago, where if you walk in JTP shop, there's certain things that he got going on that he don't want nobody to know about. You know what I mean?
Even me. Yeah. Like when I first started vlogging.
Yeah.
I come in and he see a camera whip out and he look at me. You ain't filming over here, right? I'm like, nah, I ain't.
Yeah.
Like, don't film this either. All right, I got you. Matter of fact, camera's going up. Good, camera's going away.
Yep.
You know, just it happens. There's things that don't get filmed. There is off-camera personas. It's that's the beauty of it, though. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was chilling with LZ. We're just talking straight up regular. Everything's regular. Then he wanted a ride in my RX-7. So I say, okay, cool. And then he was like, yo, you don't mind if I film? I'm like, nah, it's cool. Yeah. And the second I said, nah, it's cool, then I was like, nah, it's cool. I closed my door and moved my harness out of the way. So, you know, when you close your door and your bars and your harness, like, oh, shit. And I looked and the camera's out already. It's like, boom, bam, bam, already filming. I'm in Lexus' car. He's about to give me a ride in the RX-7. I've been excited about RX-7s. And we got to talk about that. You see his fucking four-rotor?
Nah, I seen, because I seen that he sold the, I don't watch all of them. I seen he sold the yellow FD. And then
he bought another one. He bought another yellow FD, and then he had the Vargas dudes build him a four-rotor, bro. Okay. That's a lot of money, dog. That's a lot of money. And it's cool to get, you know, if you care about looking at that, if you pocket watch, you see how much money that he's putting into what he's doing, but he's building passion projects. Right. Now, a lot of people might think that he's just been on this FD shit. He's been talking to me about rotary shit since 2015, early 2015. He was going to have Alberto, the big boost dude, come check some shit out. He was going to have me go buy these motors that were in my area and then ship them over to him. This has like been a lined up plan for the past 5-6 years. So people might be like, oh, well, he trying to... Nah. He's been lining this road.
What it comes down to, that shit, man, is like everybody out there, and you're bullshitting if you say you're not, man. You got those builds and shit you want to do.
And
it's like that want to do it and like not doing it half-ass. There's the guys that'll try to go in and do it. It'll come out crappy, or the ones that'll get halfway in and realize, man, I shouldn't have started this yet. Cancel the project and sell it and everything, or they get divorced and shit like that. So, you know what I mean? It's like I got a lot of stuff cool stuff in my mind that I haven't seen yet that I want to do, and it's like right now is not the time for me to do that because I need to continue to grow my business like I'm doing. So that people, man, they're weird, dude. Like it's like I don't with that stuff, man. I'm glad he made that video about the amount of money because that opened people's eyes.
That's an important video.
Yeah, because it was like, you know, you don't. It's one of those things where you run into again elites and everything, and I've been around celebrities before who had a lot of money, and I'm not looking for anything from them, and I chat with them a little bit, and I move on and everything. But it's like the people who chat with them are looking for their come up, so they assume that the dude's just rolling and doing like the money is just unlimited. And in that video, he like, dude, this cost this much. We didn't do this because we didn't put all the AC units in all these buildings because this blah 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 and like all this stuff. And people like that every time you spend, that money is coming down and down and down, dude. It's not forever. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to make moves to make that money back. So with the Drift HQ thing, man, that's a big move, dude. That's outrageous. That's a big move, bro. That's putting your money in a proper place because you could be like the dude, and I ain't knocking the dude, but I wouldn't do it. The one cat who spent the money to put the little fucking diamond in his head or whatever I heard about, the rapper dude.
Uzi.
Yeah, like so, like that's stupid fucking money, dude. He could do what he wants with his money, but that's dumb fucking money, wasted. You know what I mean? This guy takes that whatever amount of money or whatever, puts it into buying, because I know he had to pay. He's the owner now of HQ, so that means he had to pay off the current owner to get that and sign documents, get lawyers, all the shit that he didn't say, because I know behind the scenes there's papers signed. There's agreements. There's
not just an acquisition. Like, give me your company. Here's some money.
There's moving. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of legal stuff where it ain't no that handshake picture y'all seen. That wasn't an agreement. That's just the handshake, you know, in the public. But there's a lot of shit, and that's where I think in business, he's young, but he's got it, man, because that's where a lot of people they get like, oh man, it's cool. We could have shake on in the verbal, and then 5 years later, you're in court trying to get money back.
Business gets fucked.
Yeah, and that's where people like, he's young, but maybe his mom, dad, or whatever, he got somebody around him who's like, hey man, like do this, do that, advising him.
No, but he's a business major as well. I think.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely studied some business in college, so he's no dummy. You know, he's definitely no dummy. He's getting this money in a way, and everything starts to make sense. If you're paying attention to the stuff that he does, that was 9 months out that he probably, once he started getting off of Injuku, the dude gave the information as to when all of the things started being talked about, and then shit started put into play. There's a reason why he pulled out from Injuku, pulled their shit off, running his name, his business, his company, and then sudden Drift H stuff started just popping up, and the fact of the mention of Drift HQ or seeing their logos in his videos a lot more with the easy ups,
I didn't realize. I mean, he did have a showcase spot at the event as well. Yep. You know what I mean? So it is
with Drift HQ, right?
Right, and it definitely started making. And then of course, he had the. I peeped it, but I didn't know what his thing was on it. But his if you look at like the banner on the bottom, they always had his sponsors who like the guys who, and like the what's that the LZ MFG or something like that or So that was one of the things on there. So I figured, in my mind, I'm like, all right, maybe he gave him a generous whatever, because I did it for that little E thing. It didn't benefit. I gave the guys $540. They had my name down there, but I got nothing. It was like a little E drift thing in Canada, and it was my Pinku style was streaming on the bottom, but that was it. I mean, it didn't really net me any followers, or it didn't, and I didn't re-up with them because I'm like, that was $540. Let me see how it goes, and that pretty much $540 that didn't really go anywhere, man. So I figured he just like gave a donation or whatever to sponsor the event, and that's how he got his thing there. Not my business, but it makes sense now, man. Like that's a lot of things people don't understand, man. It ain't for you to know until it's time to know, and a lot of people like.
That was my thing when he first announced this compound. I was like, damn, that's humongous.
Yeah, like.
But then I'm like,
a lot of stuff you do with that stuff.
Having a blast driving around through there, but I know he didn't just drift around through there.
Knew that. Like,
as a business move, it was too many facilities with overhead.
Right.
So I'm like, he might have bought the land, right? Let's just say it's bought. He's paying nobody else for this land. But the operational costs or refurbishing costs of all of the buildings, I'm like, oof, that's going to be tough. I respected that he was like, we just working out of this building or this building and whatever. His girl took another building, but they just had so many others. Then it's like, boom. Drift HQ is now on the property.
I don't think
I'm also the owner.
I can tell you straight up, man. That's not it.
No.
That's not it.
I guarantee there's more shit coming. Now it's like, okay, Son's making big moves. Now you got to think bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's had a thought and a plan for a lot of shit, right? So Drift HQ came with their own media team. Drift HQ comes with a marketing team. Drift HQ comes with shipping, packaging dudes. He's just done something that adds in value, enriches his already it evolved existing program. And now, because dude, he made sure he kept mentioning dude is his partner. Yeah, I bought Drift HQ. I'm the owner, part owner, whatever the business is actually. But this is also my business partner.
Right.
So that just leveled up, right?
Right.
I guarantee there's some more shit coming because that property is so big. Somebody else out there is holding on to a tight secret that they've been offered something to go down over there. So, Vaughn gave him the information in the game, and I guarantee Vaughn has been giving him some tutelage and some tips on shit. You see, Vaughn got everything going on in-house for him. I wouldn't be surprised if we start with how travel is, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Yashio Factory USA somewhere out of his compound. I would not be surprised to see that, dude. There might be some other shit happening. They've got a paint and body spot. There's going to be some fiberglass being made there. You know what I mean? I feel like something like that is coming. It's just going to be, before you know it, this guy's going to be building SEMA builds. He's going to be building turnkey race cars. There's going to be a lot of shit happening, bro. There's no reason not to, honestly. He's got so many cars that he likes on his own. He seems to be a very, very laser-focused perfectionist. He knows what he wants out of certain shit. He's having so much experience with all these specific chassis and doing shit. The dude from, what's that, NK Tunes or RK Tunes in Jersey. So much BMW knowledge. He's got his tuner, Freddie, probably learning a little bit from Jordan. Dog, I feel like, and I mean, could be overthinking it, but I just feel like he's going to fully corner everything there in that market of the world. There in Florida, you're gonna be going to his compound for just about everything. Drop your car off, pick it up, a full freaking custom Aero from Yashio set up, tuned. You know, he's got everything. He doesn't have to leave his property. Only thing he doesn't have on there is a convenience store, to be honest.
Yeah, get that done, man. But yeah, that's what people don't look at, man. And that's, you know, to correlate to what I'm doing here, guys they don't fully understand what it is what I do here in Masawa, man. And it's not just Masawa. It's it's just hard. Like people like they don't. I'm not that type of guy or need to put things out there. Like, again, it's for you to know when it's time to know. So they just don't see why I took 5 years off from driving, why I did this, blah, blah, blah. Why did I move to this shop and different things, man. And it's like, man, I got this shit going. I know what I'm doing. So like when dudes come to me, and that's one thing, like say if you went up to Adam or anybody else that's doing stuff like that, like, hey man, you ever think about doing that? Like, dude, yeah, I thought about that 5 years ago. What's new? Like if you ever go to a person like that, or just anybody who's motivated, like, yeah, dude, of course I thought about doing this, but it ain't the time for it. The money ain't right for it and stuff like that. So guys don't realize, man, like now he's did a different thing. He's going to a different leveling up. It is a lot of money out, but at the same time, when you look at business, that money's going to be recouped more times over.
Because how do you do business?
Right.
You don't do business like right here or there. You set out.
You got set out,
year or so plan. How many years do I have to be able to keep my head above water to make it to the point where it's going to work, where it's going to possibly work? So yeah, you set out like a plan. So yeah, I think, you know, like with you, I'm sure you didn't just, let's just dive into this money and make it day to day. You know, you had a plan and to figure out how you're going to. Yeah, I launched,
like I said, man, I launched, I had to thought about it, but I was like, man, it is no time better than now to launch. I launched a few months before the 25-year rule. So that.
Oh yeah.
So that's single-handedly, Skyline GTRs kept me in business for the first year, single-handedly, because there was so many going back. There was, you know, and then the other cars started trickling in that came of age. They needed they wanted engine builds, they wanted engine swaps, they wanted all this stuff to get the car ready because they were fearing, which is a dumb thing because they don't realize. I know, and other guys that know how close related the GTR is to the S13 and the Z32. They're pretty much identical and parts wise. So guys just had this idea that nobody in America knew how to take the bolts out of a GTR. Like, it's the same shit. It's the same procedures and FSMs out there. So they just thought they wanted to get everything. And I was like, all right, man, look, I'm gonna tell you that I'm not gonna lie to you and say nobody can work on a car, but I'm not gonna also kick you away either. So you want to get it done here? Let's get it done, man. So, and then an aspect of that stuff, man, like, you know, things are going to change, man, and people are going to see that, and they probably seen it already. Whatever he was selling things up for or doing stuff before, like I say now, and I'm glad he put in the video, and it's kind of like a precursor like dudes were wasting people time, like they want to order all this stuff and everything, and then like they bail out. And I put in there like, yeah, dude, that's why I don't do parts quotes until we got a reservation. I'll do my labor quotes because I know how much it's gonna cost me to do what I gotta do. But I will not do your itemized parts quote until you got money on the books, because if you bail out, I still got your money. I still got the reservation money. And they're like, well, you can't. I'm like, nah, I can't just do that because I've done it already 5 times, and it leaves me with a quote that is done for another guy to come in. But at the same time, he still want to add this, add that. So I still got to revise that quote. And that's why I don't do it. And dudes get mad about it. I'm like, hey, man, if you don't want to pay the reservation, you ain't ready to work here. So it's going to be like that. So now that he's actually a part company owner, it's something that he don't want to deal with, and I'm pretty sure he's already dealt with it before that, which means that's why I said it.
Because you know how it goes, bro. You be on the phone for 40 minutes with somebody. Fucking consultation. And then they be like, all right, well, thanks. I was just trying to check it out. I'm not ready yet. It's like, throwing papers in the air.
That's why I get right to the point, because I've done that. I've you know, to kind of, because you got to, as a businessman, you're gonna lose time, personal time, and everything. So you figure, hey man, this guy seems like he's hot, so let me talk to him or whatever. And then it comes down to the dude not fully understanding who you are. And then on that phone call, I had it happen multiple times. The guy within that phone call realizes, hey man, I'm not a pushover. You're not gonna do this. You're not gonna do that. And then like the dude's talk in the beginning of the phone call, hey man, I want to buy these 2 cars. I'm ready to go. By the end of the conversation, he stops talking about buying the cars, and then the guy ghosts me. And it was recent, about the S13 and the Subaru. He was like, well, since I'm buying this, can you give me? I'm like, nah, since you're buying this, I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll knock off part of the shipping, but you're still gonna pay for both of the cars. Like, you know what I mean? Trying to throw me a deal, like, I own the shit. I'll give you the deals if I want to give it to you. You know what I mean? So it's yeah, man, it's gonna be, again, he's young, man. That's the cool thing about it. It's not, you know, I know business, and he's definitely gonna, you know what I mean, people don't, it's a lot of shit. Once the shit gets moving, he's gonna see it, and he's gonna learn some things what to do and some things not to do, man. So it's gonna only get better from there. Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's got some longevity in him, man. It's a good thing to see. It'll be pretty dope to see what he does with the land that he's acquired, with the business acquisitions, and just with the team that he's got with him already, and the team that he just acquired. Let's see how they all move forward as an animal, as a pride, all in one. But we gotta talk about him and Ryan Litteral, man.
Yeah. So it seemed like, what do you? I didn't read all of them. I just breezed. And all I seen was a picture of Ryan car out front, and I guess he. So what do you know about it? I guess he didn't link he was manging in the street, I know it was banter. And then what I seen,
there's a thing that even I was looking at the first videos that were being posted, like, why do they keep doing a dory right there where they could clearly just hammer down, pull a gear, and send it on that straight. Like, even, that's my thoughts. I would even try that in this car. Like, so aside from being judgmental about it, I just enjoy the content. Now, I know, because in LZ's video, he's driving with Ryan Turek, and Turek was even doing it. And I know Turek has the talent to send that shit up. JTP, Dai Yoshihara, Matt Fields, they're all doing it. So it's just like, it's not about who can't do it. Guarantee everybody there can do it. Turned out that, I don't know if it was true or not, even on one of the Litteral posts, he said the event organizer even said that it might have been misconstrued. There was a statement that said that event organizers in the drivers' meeting said, throw that dory in. You're not winning any championships here today. That's just going to keep the speed down for crowd safety, so that we don't have the cars crashing into walls and parts flying into people spectating there at the walls. So that makes sense. being as though, doing event organizing, we get told a lot of things of that nature as well, at Sonoma and shit. So either way, um, Literal was powering up, coming out, going very shallow, and then tossing it. So for me, uh, I liked seeing that. So I was like, oh, that's tight. And I was laughing. It was like, that be a man meme or whatever. So I'm like, woo, that was man shit, right? But that doesn't make anything better than anything. It's just like, visually, that's what I like to see. So I was like, that boy out here being a man. So I guess, and I think Rad Dan was the one that actually made that meme of LZ, my Jay-Z revving the 9,000, Literal doing this, trying to link the straight because he obviously missed the driver's meeting. And somebody said Rad Dan made that, but LZ posted it. And then that started the back and forth. But it's very entertaining nonetheless. I'm cool on both sides. I don't have a dog in the fight. But, man, the thing about arguing on the internet is you involve everybody's watching, man.
Yeah.
So it goes from you and your homeboy
banter
that don't have bad vibes. It's just a back and forth banter to people that don't understand man talk and bullshitting into, oh, you're this, you're a piece of shit, you're a whoopty whoop, your girl left you, you know what I mean? All this extra shit going on. And you kind of just got to expect it with social media, bro. If you do go back and forth, if you trade wits, if you argue on social media, you're going to get the onlookers joining in. And you can't fan that fire. You can't stop that fire. So it's been endless memes, and I've just been watching people's response talking about, hey, Literal talk shit. He talks too much, and this and that. And I used to like him, and I'm like, you and I know when we had the conversation with Literal, this is just what he's put forth this year.
Yeah.
And like I said in one of the groups, I was like, well, he chose an entertainer's persona this year, and unfortunately, he hasn't been able to drive to have the entertainer's persona and the results driving. So you just have the entertainer's persona, which leaves a ton to be ridiculed, because what everybody looks at you and knows you as is not an entertainer, it's a driver. So as a driver, that risk of doing this has now the lopsided scale, because everybody's been feeling whatever way about the stuff that you've been doing. And like I know, the internet loves to see people fail or lose. They love to not see you make it. So, there was dudes that were arguing me down about some maneuver on a motorcycle. Racers call it backing in. Stunt drivers do it. Or stunt riders do it. It's like a form of drifting, right? And all it is in car world is shift lock. You know how to use your back torque in your car. You go into a corner hot. Say you come from third gear, you push the clutch in, let your RPMs drop. You put it in second and just let the clutch out.
Right.
That's like pulling the handbrake. And then your wheels slowly rotate up to your traveling speed, which brings your engine speed up, and then you either get back under acceleration or you keep using that slowly rotating wheel to turn in.
And because it was raining out there, right?
Right. But I'm just saying, using that for instance, like guys do that on motorcycles. You go into a corner, throw some downshifts, and just let the clutch out, and a bike will skid, and it looks like you're standing on the brake. You're not touching the brakes at all, or you're using a very light amount to keep the RPMs down and keep the wheel rotating slow as long as you want to. But there's guys arguing me down about no, he's standing on the brakes. This is like, well, I'm not going to argue with you. I don't really care, because I know what's being done. I know how to do it. I've seen when this became super popular in the stunt world, so I know what's being done. You don't even know how motorcycles work, and you're arguing with me about that. But I look in the comments at everybody who's arguing this. There's a couple dudes in there that follow me. Couple dudes in there that have had conversations with me. If you look at it, quote unquote, if I want to be internetish, been dick riding. But the first time they see you do something that they may not even know about, and they're like, "Oh, he's wrong," and they see a ton of other people saying you're wrong, then they jump on that bandwagon. You're fucking wrong. But I see the person, and I'll DM them, "Hey," because we've already spoken. It's like just adding to that thing and be like, and I show them the specific information. Be like, just so that you know, I'm gonna tell you. I'm not telling everybody else. I don't care about arguing with nobody else. But since you follow me and you're jumping in on this, and you've been talking to me, supporting me, praising me every once in a while, here's what's really happening. You didn't know about this. Oh man, I didn't know people did that. Yeah, but you were quick to jump on that, right? So just saying that as, for instance, people that may have been loving Dick riding Ryan for ages, the second this back and forth where they're able to choose a side, and they see right now it's popular as hell for everybody to talk shit about them, they're in on that. And then you kind of sit there and you look at like, damn, dog, you've been supporting me. Now you talking shit. But it's an unfortunate thing when you take that route. And dude, when going against like a giant like LZ, there's a lot of motherfuckers that's ready to ride for him. You know, Adam.
Yeah, the last time I checked it, the comment when I seen it, because that was it. When I seen it, the comments were like 898 comments at that time, so I know it's well over.
Oh, that's the one he deleted, right?
I'm not sure. This was the
deleted it.
I'm not sure. I then I seen another one where he straight up put out there, like, you know what I mean, everything banter is cool when you put up the thing, but like when you start doing personal attacks and things like that, that's when it starts going
yeah, that's where people were talking about some personal shit.
Yeah,
they take it past the driving and just want to poke at you and make you mad and fucking say the most obnoxious shit to get a response. So that's what happened. Yeah, see, since you're up when I'm asleep, I guess it was going on and you were able to see it, because by the time I got up, I just saw that he had took the post down and had that post up, and some people screenshot a few things, so I kind of got the gist of what was going on. But yeah, it was just like, damn, dog, it's a tough road. But it's a tough road. But all he needs to do is just whatever, get the car in order, get to Seattle, get it on the track, and do your best. Because at the end of it, right, after long and short of it, the end of the day, no matter what the fuck you're talking about, it's all about the driving.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a good showing and shit is what it is, the other person didn't, or whatever, your original target, Dan Burkett, if he doesn't have it, you can be like, oh, hey, I'm here with my RB, you know, just doing RB things, and people will jump back up. It'll pop back off. RB General, RB Army, RBs over JZs. It can just pop back off again. So, you know, you just, when you choose this path, you choose that route. When you turn heel, per se, like in wrestling, when you turn heel, stand down on it. Fuck it. You know, I'm the ops, but I'm gonna be good ops. So it's entertaining. I'm just watching to see how it's handled on both sides too.
Yeah, it's kind of, you know what it reminds me of, man. It's recent. I'm not sure how deep you follow MMA, but like Conor McGregor, he's kind of had like the astronomical extent, and now it's like, you know, he broke his foot in a loss, which he was already, like, you know, and it, you know, with him it's like it's getting to the point now where, like, you know, the dude's, he just is, people saying like, well, it's because he got the money in the bank and stuff like that, and it could be he just totally changed his thing. Like, he don't train with the same guys he trained with, he don't do the same things he was doing that got him to that point. And it's like, bro, say what you want, man, but like you don't make that amount of money and it doesn't somewhat change your, not you per se, but your lifestyle, because you're not doing the same shit anymore. Like, he's taking yachts.
He just bought a Lamborghini yacht, bro.
Yeah, that's a different kind of It's not, and it's not, and there's nothing. That's his money. He's worked to get that, and I'm not taking that away from him. But at the same time, like when you fighting these guys who don't got what you got, and they're hungry, it's just a different thing, man. It's just you can't, and so well, not correlating that, but what I'm correlating it is his before his entertainment and talking was matched with like these results.
The dog with the grunt with the lifestyle.
He was like, "I'm gonna knock you out in this round." He knocked him out in this round. That kind of like started the thing.
Believed him,
right? So and the thing about it, man. Again, I know more than anybody else mechanical how this shit happens. They don't. Ryan and his team don't want these issues. So the guys there who don't know, it's not like they're not doing anything. That's a high dollar build. It just everything has to go properly. So he's gonna do well in that car. I know he is. He's gonna do well. He's gonna be one of the top contenders. Then it'll start, like you said, with the guys who don't maybe get what Lex is saying. It's like the talking is not being backed up by the driving at this point because he's having mechanical issues. Not that he can't drive. So let's kick that shit out of the window. He can definitely drive. That's not nobody's questioning that. But it's like FD is the stage he's driving on. Obviously, it worked at the event. I think I seen one screenshot I seen was somebody was saying it got towed off the track multiple times or something like that.
Yes, he had problems.
But he's still figuring stuff out, man. Like you don't build a car like this and everything's good to go. Anybody who'll tell you that is fucking lying, dude. Like the reason why you don't see it in F1 and all those guys too much, so they got millions of dollars to test before the day comes, and they doing private sessions, no cameras. The NASCAR joint where they got that big ass building where they do the dyno and all that stuff, where they did let the cameras in at one time. That was only that one time. You don't get to go in there and see when they're blowing missions, they're blowing transmissions, they're blowing diffs. You don't see that. By the time the game day comes, their shit is all figured out. And
I mean, like my setup here, tried and true, a decade, right? My turbo started to get old, still works very good, but the backside of the center cartridge, it was kind of worn,
right?
And then the front side of the turbo was letting oil through the intercooler, and everything was going into the manifold and fouling out my spark plugs. So because people are rotary ignorant, every time the car did that, it made a noise just misfiring on one rotor. You just heard bing, and then it'd come back up full power again, and then it would bail out again. Tried and true system. Only thing that failed was this turbo. 15-minute. If we got a spare turbo, I'll go in the pit, change that shit, get back out, and you're good to go. 15-minute fix. Somebody will say you blew your whole damn motor. Oh my God, that shit's trash. Rotary's dog. It's literally a turbo. I just put a new one in. We're good. We're ready to rock. But that's the same thing with Literal. It could be something super simple like his spark plug or coil packs, the boot's too long and it's popping up, and who knows what's happening with the car, why he needs toes off, especially if he gets back to the pit and fires it right back up. You know what I mean? But whatever it is, it's just they're looking for an option for him to fail, just like Matt Haugen, right? They're looking for something to like throw at him as a ha in your face. Yeah. You fucking crashed at LS Fest, idiot.
Yeah.
Ha in your face. You owe somebody else money from this and that. They're just looking for anything to throw up in your face about shit.
Yeah.
When they want to see your fail. Yeah. They don't want to see you win. They want to see you go through the drama. Yeah. But then the time that you do overcome it all, I was always in your corner. I've been watching you since whatever, man. I fucks with you.
I don't know if you probably know. I'm not sure how tough you follow my thing, man. But I had a recent situation with that. I posted up my guy Carlos and his wife came up from Kanagawa to drop off a car, and I put up there like all these guys are saying. I got a bunch of times with guys like, "Hey man, I wish you were closer to bring your car." I'm like, "Well, I'm up here. You're only 7 hours down the road, so I mean, if you really want to do it, you can do it, or you're just talking to make conversation." So I put up there. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. And this one dude, man, I wrote literally 3 sentences. And this one guy fucking he just pulled a thesis statement out of that 3 sentences. Well, no, it actually is this, and no, who's gonna drive that far and pass up all these shops? I'm like, dude, and not putting the thing, and I wish I would have screened. Well, no, dude, because I don't care about it. But
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah,
he wrote all this shit, and I put, obviously you don't support me, move on. And then he went, he replied, well, it sounds like you want to say like fuck me or this and this. Like, no, and then I came out with my thesis statement. If I want to say what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say it. Number one, you don't fucking know who I am, and number two, like you're picking and choosing what you want to what you want to reply on. I'm like, dude, just leave my shit. And then he deleted this comment. And I'm pretty sure he left my page. I'm like, bro, these people think that because they watch a couple videos of you or do whatever that support is support, but you ain't putting no money in my pocket. So, I mean, like, you know what I mean? That's different. It's different levels.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's like with this, I got homeboys that do YouTube. I got homeboys that always talking about they support me and shit. But when this TV show shit came out,
yeah,
none of them supported.
Yeah.
It was all the, you know what I'm saying, like the new homies or the people that just found me from this or that, just started following me, posting up. None of the partners that was trying to say, man, why don't you post more on your YouTube?
Yeah.
Man, I'd share your shit or, you know, this or that. Nobody did when it came down to it. And I haven't said nothing because, again, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. People don't understand how much I don't give a shit about fame or clout or notoriety. I'm just that nigga. And it's like, I'm so comfortable. We had this conversation. I'm so comfortable being me. I don't care. But I do notice that people have made the statements, man, I don't know why your channel don't have more subscribers and views yet. I know why. Because you haven't subscribed or liked it. You watched it.
Yeah.
But you haven't subscribed or liked it.
Yeah.
You don't share it like you share other people's shit. You'll share other homie shit all the time. I see it. All the time you motherfuckers share everything that all the other friend circle is doing. If I do something, you don't fucking share it. But y'all always lean on me for something. And I always show up for it. I always assist you. I always help you out. And I don't ask for shit. I'm always a helping hand. Me. Gonna be that way till my dying day. When I lay in the dirt or get burnt up and put in a cremation case, everybody at that motherfucker's gonna say, damn, this motherfucker helped me with something. But what did I do for him? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't care. But I just notice it. Because like I said, I'm petty as fuck. I notice all the shit. And I remember the shit that you motherfuckers said that everybody always said. Oh, man, I support, I'm good this and that. But then it's like, you know, that's why, like, my favorite thing is the handshake. Because talk is cheap. Handshakes and deals that's man shit. You stand on that. You know, and it's just like, nobody really wants you to win. Like, just out of the goodness of their heart. If you're winning, they want to sit and watch you side-eyeing you like, damn, nigga keep winning.
What I don't get is honestly, I don't really have like, I don't have like a list of people that I hate this guy, I hate that. I just don't simply fuck with you. Yeah, we're done.
Right.
We're just like, that's it. That's it, man. It's like, we talked about it before, man. I just don't get the social media joint where people, and the reason why we bring it up because new viewers every time, right? Hopefully, but it's like I don't get the dudes who would friend you and follow you just to see. They just can't. They're waiting for like the moment when you be like, "Hey, man, you know we tried, but we're gonna go in and pack it up." And they like, and then they get a couple seconds of joy, and then their life still sucks.
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
or they'll come on and say, "Oh man, I was rooting for you, man. I was in your corner, man. Nah, keep going. Shit. Go for broke."
Yeah.
Nah, nigga. It's over with.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So it's like, that's why, you know, again, it was kind of bring Matt back up, man. It was good. Because there are all those guys in there, and we straight up brought it up. Because I ain't going to fucking talk around the bush, man. Obviously, I seen it from the Maximus joint and all the guys there. And he said the same thing, man. He was like, you know, he's in the area with all those guys. And the fact that post was approved in there was like, that wasn't good management, because I mean, it's like they had the option to delete that post or to let it go out there, and they kind of, it's like, hey man, that's their content. I can't control
what they do.
Control what they do. Yeah. And I seen the thing about it. As a result, I got to talk to the cat because I seen it, and I seen everybody. I seen Ryan kind of stand up for him a little bit and say, "Hey, man, let him do his thing." And you can see and like they're right there, man. Like people, that's where that little jab right there from Ryan, right? That's where people who like saying all this shit about whatever on his stuff because I didn't read it all. Like they look at this post, and Ryan is a pro driver, proven, and then say, "Hey, man, let this guy do his thing." That right there can give you a glimpse into like who he really is. By that comment, or if he comes on there and be like, "Yeah, man, fuck this guy and get him out of there," and blah blah blah, and like he didn't do that because that's not his character, man. He's people who really know him. I mean, I don't know him too tough, but I mean, from that time we spent with him, I mean, I could tell a lot about somebody in that short amount of time, and he's just he is what you see. Right. You know what I mean, and that's cool because there's a lot of people out there, man, where you could think they are what they see, but you see when you see them, it's like, nah, man, it ain't it.
And especially in a driving talent, skill based competition, who cares what the other man's is doing, yo? Because if you come up and line up against me, you're gonna be me,
right?
Exactly. I don't give a shit what you doing off the track. Let that man do that man.
Exactly.
Because if he gonna play in this arena, he's gonna line up with another man, and let that man see that man. It's like I don't give a shit what nobody else does off track or what they do with their cars.
Just man, your focus is totally like when you do stuff like that, man. Like you're taking away brain power from your build that you need to be on getting that shit done. Like that's why I mean I didn't click on it. I seen it in the scrolling, just like doing my marketing thing, and I just seen it, and But I got stuff to build, man. So I get that thing like 2 minutes, and I was back at doing what I'm doing, man. And it's like,
and ain't that beautiful? Ain't that a beautiful thing where you look at something and then you be like, oh, I got something else to do.
Yeah.
Go do that shit, like real life.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, you know what? I got some downtime. I'm about to go to bed in about 10 minutes. Let me look and see.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I can't find it no more.
Or mostly, to be honest, man, is you in the toilet. It's like, you know what I mean? That's like
when you have 5 minutes of absolute bullshit time.
Yeah.
And that's literally either taking a shit or right before you go to bed.
Yeah.
The rest of the day is like, I'm doing shit, man.
Yeah. And no shit. That's when I actually seen it. Last time when I was in the toilet, that's when I pulled it up. I was like, all right, it's like the phone has replaced the magazine and the newspaper for some people. And older guys still do the same thing. It's like you're passing time while you're doing your thing on the toilet. So it's like now the phone is a thing, kind of unsanitary, making sure you don't put shit on your phone.
I would be wiping. I sanitary wipe my phone all the time, yo.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So that's one thing I do, man. It's like you go in there, like wipe your phone off before you, whatever. And it's just like that's why dudes be. You ever have somebody like talk to somebody on the phone, and they say, "Hey, man, talk to him." You be like, man, I don't know where that fucking phone been at.
Dog, every time somebody hand me their phone, I put it on speakerphone and hold it like this. I ain't putting that shit to my face, yo.
Yeah, and that's what I do when in Japan when I have to give the phone over a lot. I do that. I help them not have to put it.
And you hold it.
That shit's like you got something on your ear and your mouth is right there. You don't know that shit. That dude was just on the toilet with his phone, didn't wash his hands, and picked up his phone and shit. And stuff like that, but yeah, man, it's just like I don't know, man. It's just I for me personally, man, I just control what I can control and stay in my zone. And when the thing is, when the motherfucker comes into my zone and it has to be dealt with, like I said, the cat that came on, then he try to like after I call him out, I support you on this cappuccino build. If the dude's watching, you say you watch my YouTube, you already know I gotta bring your name up because there's no point to bring it up.
Yeah.
But he's like, I follow you on a cappuccino build and I'm a supporter of this. I'm like, well, I was going to say like, well, you got stock in this company. Like, why the fuck are you like the godsend? Cause I don't know who the fuck you are. I never seen you build a cappuccino. So like, who the fuck are you? And then I went at him, dude. I'm like, he didn't reply to what I said. He deleted his comment, which means he knew what the fuck he got the heat. And then people start co-signing on what I said. Like, dude, like all that what he said. Like you took again. I wrote 3 sentences and you made a whole goddamn paragraph.
Dissertation.
You just picked and pulled, and then all your shit's wrong. I'm like, man, that right there showed you like you got. And I said in the thing, I wish you would left it up because I was like, all the motherfuckers who support fake and you support sideways, fuck y'all. And that's what I put in there. And that was on my business page. Cause I'm like, I'm not that guy, man. Like I run my business, but I'm not gonna be that guy who's gonna be trying to like making shit all rosy and nice. It's like, if you got a problem with me, I got a problem with you until we settle it. But you're not gonna go around town and unjustly slander my name because number one, I don't fucking know you. You don't know me, and you never spent any money here. So who are you to go around town and say he did this, he did that? Where it don't go that way, man. So I'm gonna always protect my image, and people will see me how they want to see me, but me and you gonna understand what it is. I don't care about nobody else, but like me.
Yep, and remember I've said that before. Yeah. I don't care how nobody feel about nothing. Yeah. Me and the person.
Yeah.
You and I know what's going on.
Right. Like you hit the dude up, like, hey man, like you talking about the back break shit, like you talking like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like you watch my shit, right? You watch my shit, so you know that I know what I'm doing. So why would you even come at me like that, dude? That's wild.
And then when it turns out that you don't know what the fuck you were even talking about, and I see that you now know what is happening, right? And you don't go back in there and say, you know what? Either let me delete my comments or say, you know what, my bad. No, he just showed me how this works, and I had no clue about this. Because a lot of people don't know how this motorcycle shit works at all.
I don't.
And
I'll be honest
like, I post something with my daughter. She's riding the scooter.
Yeah.
She's actually doing the throttle and got her both hands on handlebars. It's a magic trick, to be honest. The real long and short of it, yes, she is doing the throttle and her hands are on the handlebars, but motorcycles can be steered from the back seat.
Right.
All you do is move your hips. You move the bike. So all she has to do, because a stunt that is a very basic, rudimentary, easy stunt to do. One of the my first stunts out of the book of tricks. If your bike has a good, strong idle, what we used to always do was hands off of the handlebars, let the bike get down to idle. You get used to balancing the bike straight. You could dip the bike in and make it do a full on handlebar lock U-turn and then pull it up out of it if you were good with your balance and your waist, and you control it by the back brake, right? Well, I don't have to do so. You take the element of that stunt to what I was doing with my daughter.
Right.
She's the idle. When I say, baby, give me some throttle, and she gives me the throttle, it's because the bike is getting a little unstable. Then I make her speed it up, and then it gets back stable. Then I say, let off, because that's fast enough. So now I tilt my hips to make the bike lean into the corner. It 100% looks like this infant baby's riding a motorcycle.
Yeah.
She technically is, but she technically isn't. So that's the Hollywood magic of it. But a lot of people don't understand manipulation of motorcycles. The same way with manipulation of cars. They don't understand certain movements. When I tell people I don't clutch kick this car, blows their mind. How is that? I swear I hear you going, you did. You do hear that, but it's not a clutch kick. It's me slightly holding the clutch right above engagement point, and I'm on the throttle, and then when I go like this and I give it throttle, it sounds just like a clutch kick, but I release both throttle and the clutch slip at the same time. All I did was get the RPMs higher, and then I go back into it. It's no whoop, bam. You don't get the judder, the hit of the drivetrain, because I try to preserve my transmission. So it's little magic tricks that you learn when you're very comfortable with your machinery that you can do as drivers, as motorcycle riders, and people, just the casual onlookers that don't understand it. But when they stand hard and firm in their belief of the minimal understanding that they have, they swear they right as fuck until you take the time to show them that they're wrong. But then they never apologize, and they'll say, you know what, my bad for arguing with you, because I had no fucking clue. Nobody does that no more. And I like that. Like, if I've argued with somebody and I was wrong, I leave it up and I come back again. Oh, my bad. I just, I just checked this out. Yep, you are right.
Yeah. Yeah, the straight deleted. That is right there. Just right there says that I was totally wrong, but I don't want nobody else to see it. Or like one of the cool things now is I don't know why they put it in there, but it was like I think they can still do it. It shows your edit history.
Yes,
so
yeah,
like,
shows edit. Yeah.
So I mean, but I never click on it. Like I'm not again. I got way too much shit to do. Same with you to be going back and some people. But I see some people do it. And they'll be arguing, and I'll be on the toilet again, and they'll be like, "Hey man, why you edit your shit? Because I can see right there, screenshot that you said this, but then you change it to this." And it's like, it's like people just want to be so they want to, nobody wants to be wrong and shit. But it's like now with the social media shit, everybody wants to appear to be the subject matter expert. What people don't realize, you got Google there. So I mean, you could be the subject matter expert and not really be it. But that shit's weird, man. Like I said, it's all everything is relative to what it is. But I don't know, man. It's just it was kind of crazy to see again. We kind of brought up Matt, started with Matt, LZ, then Litteral, and it's like all three things that transpired on social media.
Yeah,
which it is what it is, and that's how we. And the thing about it is going to be like that because that's how we connect. One bad thing to do, and I see we talk about Alex Pfeiffer, man, but he's an OG. He don't need people know him for battle version and stuff like that. So he's one of the ones that don't really need to be on it too much, and that's his choice. I'm pretty much, like I said, man, again, if it wasn't for promotion of my business, I would not have Facebook. There's other ways to connect and everything, but I try to limit and stay up for that, man, because one thing with all this shit, man, WhatsApp and all this stuff, like I said before, it puts people too much directly in contact with you, and now again, you gotta, like you said, you mentioned before, you respond to them, and like it works out. I respond to it. I respond to the ones that have good content and wording. If it's not just like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, I really don't. It's like if "Hey, what's up?" is like you just want to have a regular ass conversation about nothing. To be honest, man, I don't reply to those because that doesn't. When I hit somebody up, I don't say, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, "Hey, this is Donnie from blah blah blah." You know what I mean? Because I don't want to waste nobody's time and everything, man. So I do that, and then if they don't, I know I put content in it, so if they didn't reply to it, it's because they've seen it and they're not interested. And hey, man, I get ghosted. So like I said before, I mailed multiple, even some of them twice, female drivers just to get them on the podcast. Seen. I mailed Rollins the other day again for a second time. Like I don't know what the deal is, but that's it. I'm not gonna do it again.
Yeah,
maybe she'll get back to me later, and then it's still all good. You know what I mean? If anybody know was Kesley Rawlings, she's the FD Pro 2 chick or whatever.
Yeah, when she responds to you, she can tell you what her actual pronunciation of her name is.
Kelsey Rawlings. Yeah, Kelsey
Rawlings. Yeah.
Yeah. So
but I mean, the thing is, like, technology is around because it's like sometimes. So I respond to everybody,
right,
but it's the people that weird me out that I'll mute. Like, there's certain guys have not spoke to me ever. Like, there's no history of interaction. And they're doing a FaceTime call.
Oh, nah, dude. Yeah.
You're blocked, player.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
We don't have why are you calling me?
Yeah. I actually, for that, to tell you straight, unless if you or somebody else in my circle hit me up, no problem, because I know you. But like the random dudes, like it is. I'm glad people don't do it a lot because all you gotta do is click on a video and it'll bring up video or whatever. You can just check off video or audio. I don't accept. I don't even do because the thing is, most people who are going to do that, for me, 110% is always car stuff, and I tell guys that's not what is. Facebook is not that for me, man. It's promotion, and that's it. Like if you want to talk about, you need to email me or call me on my actual business phone, which is this one right here, man. But if you
for that shit, don't be
that's not,
because it's like it'll be like so and so's calling you, be like, who the fuck?
Yeah.
That's just weirdo.
And then it'll be at a weird ass time of the day too.
That's the thing. It'll be freaking time of day. Yeah. And this is like, dog, this is family time.
Yeah.
And why are you calling me 5 times in a row?
Bro. Actually, one time, I can understand like because if you click the end fast enough, it's still going, so they'll just reactivate it. But yeah, man, I had to fuck. It was like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, and this dude called me. And I'm like, man, I was like, man, what do you want? I'm like, who the fuck are you and what do you want, dude? I'm like, don't. He's like, oh, I was just calling about this manifold. I was like, well, you know I'm in Japan, right? And I had to school, and that he didn't buy it for me, obviously, because he didn't like the way I'm like, dude, you don't fucking do that, dude. You don't just keep calling. Obviously, I'm not fucking picking up, and I was pretty pissed, dude. So I'm like, and people don't respect the time zone shit. I'm like, dude, my shit is daytime. Like, you're over there. Like, I mean, you gotta be smart enough to call, and it says right on there, it's Japan. Check the time zone. So that's the only time I will. If somebody, I've had a couple customers do that shit too, and it'd be some dumb shit, and it's not even a fucking major thing. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, bro, don't fucking call my phone like that, dude. Well, but I wanted to order this. I'm like, but dude, don't call my phone that way. Are we square?
Yeah, not through social media.
No, I had a couple guys call my actual phone, but at the same time, I was like, it's kind of my fault because my business number is my regular phone because I don't use it for business. Yeah. And it was a Sunday, and I was at the track, and the dude kept calling my fucking phone, man.
But they'll call. It's calling. With me, it's calling my actual phone.
Oh, no shit.
But it's through Instagram.
Right,
It'll say their phone number and everything, their name and all the shit, but it's through IG.
That's weird.
And I'm like, what the hell, bro? Like, that's crazy. So I be, because it's like, the first time somebody did it, I was like, what the hell? So I answered it, and it was, oh, yo, what's up, dude? Literally had nothing to say. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, nah, dude, no.
Yo, I'm gonna get up out of here though. I holla at you, but then it's just like, and like that's what I do. I always end it, and then I look and see if I've had an interaction with them, and then it's just like, nah, no interaction. Like, hey, nice cars, or what are you hitting me up for? Like,
yeah, again, this shit's just pushing everything too close, and what it is, people, the younger cats, man, they have this. You know what I mean? I pay for the phone, I pay for the service, so it's my right. And it's like they I guess they figure because you guys
entitlement.
Yeah, because if you're friends on Facebook, I guess it already gives them the right to do it. I'm like, dude, we ain't friends, dude.
Entitlement. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like essentially, it would be cool if Facebook just put followers instead of friends, because that denotation, and it's real. I mean, everybody on my Facebook, we're not friends. Like, we're just you happen to. Right. You know what I mean? At the time, I was adding people. Now, one thing is cool, and I did see from LZ's thing, man, because I checked it out, and I was just like, I'm like, man, is this guy a capacity guy? And that little shit right there, he has like 830 friends on his list. And from a guy that's that popular in it right now, you know what I mean? Mine was just basically people who like my cars and my drift style, and then that's how I added it up like that. So it was nothing more than that. But if you see a guy like that has a lot of following and then has the numbers small like that, is because those 830 people might actually be actual friends. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm like, that's cool, that's respectable. And some people don't care to have the list maxed out. Mine is having to be getting maxed out because, you know what I mean, it is what it is. And they want to do that stuff and everything. And I actually haven't added nobody in a while. So I'm actually
I stopped adding.
Yeah. I'm like at 4. Like, my shit's actually going down. It's going down because guys are deleting their accounts. They unfollow me because they don't like the cool shit I'm doing, or stuff like that. So it is what it is, man. Then like we talked about before, the cats who were once on your list and then they're off, and you're like, huh? I'm getting a friend request from.
Motherfucker started adding me back.
Nah. Some dude sent me a message, and I just read it and I deleted it. Well, we were once friends or something, but something happened. Like, nah, you deleted me, dude. Like, you deleted me, and then so no, archived. So
yeah,
I mean?
I don't archive. I fucking get your dumb ass out of here.
Yeah, man, it's all good.
Mute them or block them or whatever, so that you know that I saw it and I made this move. Because it's like, you left. You being a weirdo, the fuck out of here and stay out of here. Especially if I did nothing to you. I'm just too petty. If I did nothing to you, expect me to be really petty. Because it's like, I don't know why you did it. It doesn't make any sense to me, and I'm not gonna try to confuse myself. So you just guan from around here, boy.
My bad. 1 second, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. It's just I just gotta send this thing out because this guy's getting it's getting kind of this guy's yeah. Yeah, I'm on it block this. I had to send this thing out, man, because it's just one of those guys, man, where they just don't get it, and you know, like, hey, man, like, I don't care about your work schedule. You gotta get here when I'm working. You know, it's like well, our schedules don't really align, so this, what we gonna do about that? Like, I'm not gonna do shit. You're gonna come here when I say come here, or we fucking ain't having no deal, dude. Like, nah, man, it's fucking cats. Now, I told him I was like, obviously, because the email he keep not fucking replying to what I'm saying. Right. And then he keeps like I'm asking him questions and he just saying everything he wants to say. So I'm like, hey man, obviously email ain't working, so we need to talk. So I told him give me a call at 12:30, man. So I ain't gonna hold you too much longer. But yeah, man, that shit's all weird, man. Again, overall, man, it's man, people just need to do what they gotta do for them, man. Take care of what they gotta take care of, and everything will be cool. And this common the technology, we can't ignore it, man. Technology has definitely advanced our lives. Again, like I said before, it's making this possible. So it's great, but it's like at the same time, man, some people be using the improper way. Again, to give LZ his props, man. He's using it properly, dude. And anybody else that got an issue with that, man, it's just like you got to look at yourself and see what it is, man. So it's just yeah, man. So
even Ryan's using it properly.
Yeah.
He's just not making good on the other side of what he needs to do.
Yeah. So.
But Seattle's coming up.
Right. And that's is that this weekend or next weekend?
I think it's this weekend.
Yeah.
That is this weekend.
Yeah.
So Seattle's coming up. He has the opportunity for a lot of redemption. LZ has the opportunity to come back and score number one qualifier again because this is a pretty basic layout. And I've even seen people have predictions of because JTP does very well at Seattle. I've seen JTP predicted to win. Matt Field is on a tear. And Vaughn is always looming somewhere in the cuts. So there's an opportunity for a lot of shit to happen at this round. And I'd like to see a full Falcon podium. Osbo, Matt, JTP in any order.
Is it going to be pro spec or just pro?
I think it is pro-am pro spec. This is one of their rounds. Yep.
Okay. Because I know they didn't go it wasn't it was just pro last time and everything, so just getting them in and everything. So but that, man, have you heard anything on like any adjustments to the rules, or are they still heavy set on like the timeline, what they laid everything out, like the transmission, the ECU, all that stuff? That's all still the same?
Yeah, nothing is going to change
until
SEMA. They don't adjust or change any of the rules until then, unless there's just some super outrageous, tragic, or something that can't be ignored at all. There's no adjustments that'll be made.
Yeah.
So I feel like we should see straight up standard stuff. I'm ready to see some more pro spec driving. I actually forgot all about it. I was like, what have I been missing? Because the last round, the Lake Erie thing, I watched it for a second, bro, and I was bored as fuck.
Yeah.
And I went to the garage to do something else, dog. It's like, I don't know what Formula D has to do, especially for rain rounds.
Yeah.
But something's got to happen to aid in the excitement. I'm going to stay right here and watch this shit. This is riveting, I don't know, bro. It's just so I'll be happy to see Pro 2 come back on the rounds and get to watch some more Formula D action for a fresh, newer arrangement. Because they've got the Rome Charpentier drama. They've got fuck, dude. The judges is just it's always the same shit year in, year out. And I really want to see something change. That's why I like the Ryan Literal thing is so interesting. It's like, yeah, he's talking shit. He turned heel, he's making something exciting happen. You know, let's keep that going because that's entertaining. You know what I mean? Other than that RBJZ shit, let's take away the RBJZ shit. Matt Fields winning, jumping off the podium, and gang banging the champagne into the ground and popping off the top. That's his tactic. That's very wild. That nobody's been done before on Formula D podiums. Take that shit away. What's been exciting in Formula D? What's been notable in Formula D?
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. I just think they.
See,
yeah.
This year it hasn't really been anything majorly exciting. JTP, the only thing is JTP blew his engine on the track, ran it like a true man. Forsberg caught on fire from sparks from Gittin. Those are from the same round. Other than that, that's it. Nothing very exciting has happened.
Yeah, then the thing about the rain, definitely. The rain is like, it just pretty much, it's the spectacle of FD is smoke. It's like, and if you don't have that, like, to have those cars that powerful, they just don't. It is you can do what they're doing in Hachiroku. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like it's
if
not.
Put a Hachi in the rain with one of those cars, they'd be door to door.
Yeah.
And that would just be it.
Yeah. So it's just and then it starts to dry out, and then you see like the tire smoke again a little bit. But yeah, it just totally Yeah, the rain. I mean, I was what was it? Yeah, I was in quarantine when it was on. So I mean, I was in the garage until like 2 that morning. So I was just chilling in the shop, chilling up here in a quarantine box and shit. Yeah. So I watched it. I'm like, man, this shit. I'll start falling asleep because it's like,
yep.
Yeah, man. Because I hit you up and I was like, I figured. And when you was like, man, I turned this. I was like, nah, well, we don't want to do no live on that shit. So. Yeah, man, that shit was a little bit weird, man. But that's just one of the things too. We were just talking about too over here with a buddy. It's like a lot of Japanese don't practice in the rain actually, so they don't.
Yeah, that blows my mind.
Yeah, they don't practice in the rain. They don't. They do not care for the rain because the rain increases the odds of like spin outs and all that stuff, and they just don't want to do that. So like the for me personally, I'm gonna call.
Oh, actually, no. Yeah. St. Louis's prospects next round.
So okay, so Prospect kind of been on the shelf for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. August 27th.
Damn, god damn, man, that's a. I wonder what the deal is with that logistic wise. I mean, because it seemed like they were running they were running everything at the same time, and then they just been having big breaks with the Prospect.
Yeah, June to August, so it's a month gap.
Yeah.
And then they go August 27th and then October 22nd at Irwindale. So
maybe I don't know if maybe some guys like, hey man, we don't have the budgets of the pro teams. Maybe they need more time to get shit together and organize and get to the place. I don't know if that's a thing.
I don't think so. I just think it's giving them an opportunity to not have such a rigorous schedule, have to put together such a crazy budget to come along with the series, and then it's giving them showtime with Pro Series running them the day before and everything. So it just gives them an opportunity because like how Pro-Am used to be, Pro-Am, the ones that traveled, there were some Pro-Ams that would travel around to different places, and they only ran 4 rounds, and it was like, hey, giving you an opportunity to see what the big show is like at a small margin. You just knock out 4 rounds, travel, logistics, your shit, your crew, figure it out, and then when 8 rounds of competition comes, you kind of know what to expect. You've had a planner, you've got some experience as to getting yourself and your crew around and having everything you need, So I think I really like Prospect. more as a show. Drivers are hungrier. The car variances are quite a bit.
Well, one thing too is it's not a they don't do so much as like, you know, I call it how I see it, man. It's when those guys in there announcing, somebody brought it up that somebody was like, well, that's their business, so they got to make sure JR don't say this and say that. When JR was saying the mind reading part, I didn't go back, but I guarantee you that part got wiped out of the live feed when he said that when he was talking to Osbo and everything, because the guy in the one of the announcers is like, nah, the judge is not doing that, and so it's like online is constantly they constantly like kind of upholding their image. And it's transparent to see that anytime something's said or whatever or brought up about one of the drivers or judges or whatever, you know, they're easy to kind of correct people. And then again on the Maximus thing, man, they don't make it transparent where every time somebody says something about the judges, then you got the guy Paco and the other guys coming in like, nah, man, well, this is how it is. It's like they're constantly trying to like, bro, if some shit's wrong or some shit's fucked up, man, you got to address it, man, to you know what I mean? To keep like blowing it off and saying like, well, you guys don't really understand. Like, not well, what is there to understand? Is judging it?
If you have Alex Pfeiffer on here,
yeah,
you're surely gonna make the decision if you're going to align yourself with FD or not.
Yeah,
because Alex is gonna get on here and he's gonna say some shit.
Yeah,
and he don't hold no punches. He don't hold his tongue. He speaks directly and calls names. So
yeah.
if you ever have if we ever get Alex Pfeiffer on here,
hook it up, man.
Just be ready.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'll be hook it up, man. Because like again, man, I call it how I fucking see it, bro.
Hey,
people follow
Alex,
you. Yeah.
God damn.
Hey man,
it,
people follow you. Like I said, those guys hit me up, and it's not like they don't have to do nothing for me, man. It's just like we're podcasting, like, you know, for example, all the comedian podcasts, they're all, you know, outside of the drama going on, everybody's leaving LA and stuff like that, and people getting called being pedophiles and all that stuff. Is like that whole Rogan umbrella just crumbled, and like he left, and other guys had allegations, and it was for like that one summer, it was like hot, man. Everybody was doing everybody podcast. Now some podcasts don't talk to this guy because they don't want to be associated with a pedophile, and then this guy don't want to be associated with a rapist. But you know, I'm not a drift podcast. I didn't put Pinku style drift podcast. So their thing, you know, with Maximus or whatever is just that. And I mean, I'm not fucking like nobody. We call it how we see it. Those guys, I hit them up, and I spoke about it before. I hit him up and hit Brian up. And he's like, well, we'll think about it, but right now you just don't fit the mold or whatever. Like, well, pretty much the mold that I'm not doing nothing in America. But I'm like, all right, well, being an American drifter in Japan.
How do you fit the mold?
Yeah, that's what he told me. I'm like, cool, dude. Later.
Who the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So I'm like, cool. I don't. Basically, I didn't win an FD championship. That's what I gather from it. Or I'm not a household FD name. So
what
it's
is
like
the mold aside
I don't know,
from
man.
a driver?
I don't know. But you see, I'm pretty sure you know Logan Paul, and then the whole KSI joint, right? They did that one podcast together, 5 million views in one day. That right there, man. They don't like, oh, okay, dude. Well, I'm not gonna hit any of you guys have individually asked you to be on my podcast, so that we just keep it at that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like people like, you know, they don't realize those type of people will never do the things that LZ is doing, man, because they're not taking the chances, making the connections. And then, you know what I mean, you see how it is, man. So, I mean, if they watching my podcast or whatever, they're seeing it or hearing it, or if guys that are watching or know those guys want to time clip this out and send it to them, it's not a malice thing. It's just I'm calling it how I see it. And it's just like, hey, man, if you're in the same lane, you want to kind of network with people and see what's up. I have more of a right to talk about anything on that podcast than I want because, again, I'm a drifter, American, and I live in, not all the pro shit aside, I live in Japan, so I'm one of you guys. I'm doing what y'all guys do, and I'm in Japan doing it. So it's like that doesn't qualify. I don't know what anything else wills, man. So it is what it is. I just know when they come around, I'm not even going. I have no interest. You know, I'll have no interest, man. Because by that time they'll see me as something valid or whatever, man. And like I said before, with all that stuff, man, I'm just for guys that are listening and watching, man. We're getting that in a nutshell. What me and Lex talked about was, hey, man, if dudes want to ice you out, and we talked about it before, people want to ice you out of their life, man. when they're ready to let you in, just let them know, hey man, thanks, I'm good. Because
Yeah.
obviously it's gonna be something that you want. You know what I mean? That they're gonna come back on you. Like, so yourself, Lex. You know what I mean? If you went further in the show, made it, did whatever, made it to the finals, whatever the proverbial finals are, then there'll be a whole group of people hitting you up like, hey man, let's do this and let's do that. Because it went how it went, they're like, oh man, well, I knew that guy couldn't drive or this, that, and the other, and blah blah blah.
But they know, a lot of guys know that had nothing to do with driving.
Right.
There's a lot of people that have come to the channel, or not, well, yeah, the channel and the IG, and they're like, yo, it sucks how they did you. A lot of people saw in my face that I was mad at the shit.
Right.
They're like, you look mad as hell or whatever. And then they ended up coming to my IG and they're like, nah, this dude is the one. Like, I don't know what everybody else's IG has on it because I don't even know. I never knew the guys before we did the show. But they look at me and it's like constant driving. Good driving, drifting, this motorcycle shit. Like, I'm literally that thing that I was on the screen all the time, right? And so they found the outlets. That's all I really wanted. If you wanted to know more about me, you can find me very easy. The ones that have found me, I've been like, hey, thanks for dropping by to see what I'm really about. I appreciate that. Thank you. And, everybody says their words to me. Oh, man, it sucked how they did your car and this and that. I got a thing that's going viral. I've never done Instagram Reels. I did an IG Reel when the RX-8 got his doors ripped off. But I didn't realize I didn't post that. I posted the video on my story about what happened, but only, I think like 1,500 or 1,700 people saw it. So I posted on my Reels, and that shit's been going nuts, right?
Yeah.
It's like 28,000 views and whatever comments and shit. And, but the car's already fixed. So I just was like, oh, this is some content I wanted to fool around with Reels. Cause somebody told me, hey, mess with the Reels. The Reels go off like TikTok or some shit, right? So I'm like, okay. And it did. Their advice was like pretty good. The Reels go crazy. And man, people are like, oh man. So you get the, oh man, I bet you won't follow nobody that close next time. Or it's like, it's a racetrack, motherfucker. It's close encounters, or oh damn man, I hope that car ain't total, but it's sitting there fine, fixed. But that's the cool part about like engagement, I guess, or sharing the content when you feel like sharing it.
Yeah.
The shit could have been fixed. Like, people still, because they're seeing the TV show now, people think that my car is currently fucked up now. So like when I brought it to the track yesterday, oh, I'm so glad you fixed it. Like, yeah, that was in February, my guy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's fixed. I haven't painted it because I was waiting to paint it with this car, and then when I was gonna go get it painted, the shit got ripped apart. So, there was a guy yesterday, which was really weird, right? So a couple people lurked and looked and recognized the car. I was like, oh, shit, it's here. And then I drove it up on the hill so they didn't get to see me drive because I wasn't down in the paddock. And then by the time they got the paddock set up and open, I was like, yeah, I'm going home. So this guy caught me on the trailer. I just strapped the car, or just pulled the car up on the trailer, put the handbrake on, opened the door, and I put one foot out the door. And this dude runs up on me. Yo, dude, what's up? I just saw you on Discovery Channel. Blah, blah. I'm like, so I'm in the car. Like, you're leaning because you can only open the door so much before it hits the fender on the trailer.
Yeah.
So I turn this way so I can get out and pull up. But he's standing right here. He got up on the trailer and he's in the door. So I'm in the car, like, I'm looking at him. I'm talking to him. I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm sitting in this awkward position with my leg out. And I'm like, damn, okay, he ain't going to let me out the car. So we sat and had like a 5-10 minute conversation. I'm sitting in this motherfucker sideways, just like, all right, word, cool. Yup. Cool. He's showing me shit on his phone. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm responding. I'm like, damn, he's not going to let me. Like, he just saw me pull the car up. He just heard the car running. I shut it off, and I want to get out. I, he's not gonna let me. I'm like, all right. And then I was just like, and I didn't want to be a dick, but I'm like, all right, well, cool. I'm always here on Wednesdays. Come check me out. Like give him dap, like trying to end the convo so I can get out my car and finish strapping my shit down. And I don't know how he took it or whatever, but it was just like, man. I hit Mike up, my boy. I'm like, damn, people when they really be on your shit, is that how it is? You know what I'm saying? You can't get a chance to breathe, but then you look at Adam, and he gotta go hide in trailers. And I'll never be on a level like that of popularity or stardom, whatever you want to call it. But it's just like the little small bursts that I get here and there. I'd be like, ooh, shit, I ain't built for that. Or I am, because I'm hella regular if you approach me regularly. But like on the, oh, dude, hey, man, you did this. I was just watching that and blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay. Like, yeah, that's from that show. But, yeah, regular me, yeah, I'm here all the time. Oh, I wouldn't think you'd be at this event. Don't know why not. It's a drift event. These are my peoples. This is where I'm at. This is what I'm all about. For real, for real, This ain't no celebrity shit. Like, I'm really out here every week beating the hell out of my car, This is seriously what I do. So, that was interesting. Watching people walk by the car and stare at it and be like, this is that car from the show. I was like, that's interesting. I'm hanging out over there with Alex Pfeiffer, and I'm just watching it. Everybody walk by it and stuff. I was like, huh, this is interesting. It's something different.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. But like I say, man, it's cool that you can handle it that way. Some people can't, and some people, man, they just take all that shit, take it ahead, and the next thing you know, man, they be online apologizing for their actions and shit. You know what I mean? Like that story, like, you know what I mean? Some people, man, I don't know, man. You can remain the same with a little bit of fame, a little bit of cash, but the majority of the people, they can't because, you know what I mean, they were already like that. It's just the money or the fame or notoriety kind of push it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a double-edged sword, man, because again, like I said in the beginning part with the little story I said, it's like when you come at guys hardcore, then they assume, well, oh, he's acting like that because he has money or this and this. Like, nah, dude, because you crossed the line. You crossed the line of being a decent human to now you got to get checked back in place. And now I'm the bad guy because I shouldn't punch down or whatever they say because I'm in a more advantage position. I got more cars. I got a shop and all this other stuff. I should let you say what you want to say. Like, nah, it don't work that way, man. And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize, man. It's not, we're human too. And, we got problems just like you. And everybody just think that because LZ got that compound that LZ ain't got no problems in life. You know what I'm saying? They don't know he could be battling. They don't know. I mean, I'm not saying nothing. Wishing on he could be battling some kind of health condition nobody don't know about, that the guy could have a limited time on Earth and he wants to do all the shit he wants to do right now.
Like Nick Cannon. Look at the Nick Cannon situation.
Yeah.
Nick has lupus. He battles it all the time.
Yep.
He said, I think I'm doing good. I go to the doctor. They're like, you're about to die. You're gonna die. He's like, fuck, I felt great. I thought I was doing all right. And that's the information that he's been getting on the low. He's rich as fuck, right?
Right.
Rich as hell. Everybody want to call him corny, but he's always in the mix getting money, making big moves.
Right.
Then he starts having all these kids in a hurry. 1, 2, 3 kids in a year. Different broads. What the hell's Nick doing? What an idiot. Well, first of all, he can afford every single one of them.
Right.
Second of all, he's doing it on purpose. You ain't just busting that many nuts on accident and then many different broads and then being told, I'm pregnant that many fucking times without meaning to do it every time you do it, right? And then when everybody's saying all this shit and then he finally comes out and says it, yo, I don't know how long I'm about to live. They keep telling me my time is short. It's limited. So I'm like, all right, well, I've been doing a lot of work, putting in a lot of work, getting a lot of money. My legacy is going to be family. I'm leaving family behind if I go. And if I don't, I got hella kids that I'm going to take care of and have fun with. And, yeah, he got lupus. It's a battle. It's a struggle. he think he doing all right. People keep saying he's losing the struggle. He's like, okay. So he just having kids. So
yeah, man. The thing about that shit, man, right there, man. It's like, dude, how many random Joes out there got like 7, 8, 9, 10 kids, and they just Tyrone around the block and shit. You know what I mean?
Tyrone around the block.
Tyrone in the block, and ain't nobody saying shit about how many kids he got other than, you know what I mean, whatever. He ain't paying what you call him. Like, that dude got money. He could pay for all whatever.
He has enough. He has enough businesses that he can make each of his kids president of the business.
Right.
And they all got their own business.
Yeah, so people being motherfucking shit, man. It's like, dude, you don't know. And that's the thing about it, man. It's and that's why, you know, I had to pause the thing and talk to that guy because, again, this guy, never knew this guy came into my life last Sunday. Never knew this guy in my whole, never seen him. And then like they come into your fucking life and they think like they can put their objectives or their goals onto you. I'm like, something like, dude, the emails ain't working, dude. You talk to me face to face and you got my temperature, but you still ain't. I guess you thought I was bullshitting, so now I'm gonna let you know my schedule, this, and this. Like, you don't come into my life and fuck my shit up, man. And people just think, I don't know, man. They just think that what they see is that's it. That they think that's Lexis King right there. That's all he's gonna be is that RX-7 behind him and those 2 bikes. They don't know what else you got. You know what I'm saying? They don't know. Yeah, they don't know. Yeah, they don't know when they watch this video. You got 2 kids and a wife inside the house. You know what I'm saying? And you got bills. They just see you right here, and that people don't. I mean, I'm good. I think that's one trait I have that's good is I know that, hey, this person got other shit going on or whatever. So when some shit goes down or somebody's slow on something, within reason, it's like, hey, man, I know they got some stuff going on. As long as they're communicating effectively without too many excuses, because too many excuses is just as bad as a solution to the problem. Like, hey, I don't need to know that your wife ain't having sex with you, man. That's not. You know
yeah, don't tell me that. Tell me you're working on what we need to be worked on.
That's too much shit, man.
Gonna make it happen.
Yeah, man. She ain't banging me, so I'm getting stressed, man. So I'm trying. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, you gonna paint my car or what? You know, it ain't got nothing to do with. If you can't do it, then we gotta go somewhere else to get it done, man. But I don't need to know your personal shit. And that's one thing I caught myself on doing when I first started is like I would tell people like, oh, you know, this and this and it's not like I'm excuses, but I'll just naturally like, hey man, I got stuff going on. But it's like, hey, Tuesday at 12 o'clock, you can make it or you can't. I'm gonna be done at this time, you can make it or you can't. And that's how I put it, man. And it's like they don't need to know all your shit. It's not their business. So that's one thing out there, guys watching and listening, man, out there. Don't you gotta explain yourself to who you gotta explain yourself to, but limit that. Like
for sure, limit. Don't over-inform anything. Yeah,
or the amount of people like. I mean, and it's not explaining is not bad because you got to let if you got working with a team of people, advisors, bosses, $1 million contracts. Explaining it seems like you're lowering yourself, but you're just, hey man, we got this going on. The lumber is caught up in here and blah blah blah. So we're not gonna be able to get to this project. You're just letting your people, but don't unjustly explain yourself to people who ain't doing shit for you. Or ain't in that position to be like, you know what I mean? They're not your fucking boss. They're not your wife. You know what I mean? They ain't your kids. Those, your mom, dad, they ain't those people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, damn. I'm just looking at this. LZ said everybody crashed Drift HQ's PayPal. See how business fucking with him just goes up exponentially?
Yeah, man. That's good shit, man.
Same.
That's good shit. I mean, I like to have that problem, but it ain't like that. But at the same time, man, again, I got my zone working on, and I think a lot of people, man, with that stuff right there, again, we just wrapping it up here, is just like a lot of guys, they just, man, I'm happy for the, I met the guy again, finally, I knew it would happen, but I didn't know it would happen that quick as we talked about it. I knew I would eventually run into this guy and everybody else out there, and it's like, you get to put your stamp on what it is, and it wasn't that I'm like, the dude, he came up to me talking about a truck, so it wasn't like I went, hey, Adam, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So we just chopped it up for a couple of seconds, but at the same time, I knew we would link up. And I just already had the stuff I want to say on my mind, and it's not, we talked about it a bunch of the podcasts, so it was like kind of rehearsed, but it wasn't. It was natural. And I was just like, hey, man, I know people, because the thing about it, I don't know if he gets talked to this real like that, and that's why I wanted to talk to him like that, because I'm like, hey, look, hey man, me and Lex talk about you in the podcast. Props for doing what you're doing. I do know you got a lot of people for you, and a lot of people ain't for you. I mean, I can remember what I said because I ain't saying no bullshit. And I was like, hey man, like I know how it is, man. I just don't know if anybody's telling you. I mean, I know how it is to work yourself to a position. So just know, man, you got supporters out there, whatever, and do your thing. Don't worry about the people who knock you down. He said, yeah, man, thanks for that, blah, blah, blah. And he might don't hear that a lot because people always want something from him, or they just want to be down in his crew, and they'll say whatever they got to say to get down with him. And it's like, people need that real person who ain't try to kiss your ass. They ain't want nothing from you because they realize that's a reality check for them too. That not everybody out there wants something from you, dude. And that's what I gave my card. I'm this, and this. Hit me up if you need me. Obviously, he probably won't because he got the guys down. He got the Shield Factory and all those guys down south. So the odds of him hitting me up, probably not. But he got that card that I gave him, unless he chucked it out, and he'll know that this guy that I talked to, you know.
At the bare minimum, he'll remember your face, and when he sees you again, Donnie, what's up, man?
Yeah. So it's all good, man. It's just people, you know, guys out there, man. It's just. Man, stay true to you, man, because that's why I deal with Lex so much, man, or fucks with Lex. Let's keep it real, you know. Let's keep it. Sometimes it sounds better, you know what I mean? Because it's like I know who I'm talking to, man, and it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many people out there you don't know. It's like, man, is this guy really
not
like
a
that?
Representative.
Yeah,
I'm not putting forth a representative.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, in person is all awkward and you know, it's all awkward. And some guys I met out there at the Atlanta event, man, was all like, Why you being awkward, dude? I'm like, hey man, son, is everything cool? No, man, it's just I didn't expect you to be here. I'm like, dude, be chill, dude. Like I'm the same dude to be posting those tweets and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just me. You know what I'm saying? They be like, oh man, I thought you would be like hard to talk to and this. Like, why? Because most guys and I only got a following like that, but most people who get a little bit of following, 5,000 followers, and all of a sudden they're fucking famous and shit.
They cloud it up, yo.
Yeah. And I seen them, dude. They all like. At the event, I'm like, you know what, man? They keep that energy, dude. I'm not even gonna go over. I'm not walking over because number one, if we passing, it's cool. But I'm not going on my way to get up in your little mob and shit. And because LZ had his joint, but he had the biggest mob, right? And then HQ had their mob around that tent. Then there was a few other YouTubers there, and they had like little. Everybody had their little mobs, but some LZ, of course, had the biggest mob. Naturally. Yeah. So it's like. Then I can see the other dudes like this kind of. I analyze stuff, so I'm at a soda shack. We getting water, and I see the tents, right, and I just see like I see the crews from other crews. It's like kind of like pointing like and like kind of like giving a wave, like you can see the body language. And they like kind of like waving it off, like that ain't no big deal. He got all those people. Like, nah, it is, man, because those people came all the way where they're from to see him at that event, dude. So it kind of is a big deal, man. You got all these people who altered their life to be there. And when a guy told me, like, the cats from Florida, they didn't come there specifically for me, but they knew I was going to be there. So, you know what I mean? I was like, damn, these dudes drove from Florida to Georgia because they heard I was going to be there. That was like, that's wild, dude.
Yeah, it's very weird to see, or I guess flattering to see people go at lengths for journeys. And then they pop up and, hey, yo, what's up? Man, I'm hyped you're here. And then it's like, damn, that's cool. Where'd you come from? Oh, I came from so-and-so. But like, damn, it's cool. The same place, huh? Yeah. It's dope. You know, like I watched a dude, he had a whole mob of people to go watch Fast and the Furious with them. And one of the dudes drove from Montana to California.
No shit.
You went from Montana to California to watch Fast and Furious with some of your favorite YouTubers,
right? And with that right there, and that's what I'm saying. But dude, like I was trying to go on the track, but like every time I did get rolled up on, whatever I was about to do it for that 10-15 minutes, because that's how someone it was. I gave that person 10-15 minutes until they were like, all right, and then like it kind of was weird because you had the next batch of guys were in the background. And they see me talking, and then they kind of like, all right, man, well, I'm gonna go check this out. All right, cool, later, man. Give him a 5, whatever. Next guy slide in, and I was like, my voice was like kind of going out because I was just constantly talking, and that's happened multiple times, even in Japan. Like I went to an event, and the Japanese want to find out about the 1UZ, and I lost my voice, dude. By the end of the day, just explaining the same shit over and over and over. But it's like, you know what I mean? That dude that drove from Montana to California. let's set it up real quick. This dude might have been like, man, he might have gotten a fight with his girl because his girl didn't want him to go out there. He might have gotten
a rough week at work.
Yeah, he might have did all this shit, but he's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to this event, and then he shows up, and then you're like, all right, cool, later, and like blow him off. You know that not saying you got to give everybody your time, but it's like if it ain't hurting you, it's like, hey man, that dude, you don't know what he went through to get to that event. The money he spent on fuel, he slept in his car, he ain't washed up in 2 days.
He off 3 to 4 rock stars. And shit to make
and then you blow him off like that. It's like, nah, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, the person should know, like, you're about to suit up and get in the car. You can't really hold a conversation. But if it's a downtime, like, hey, man, do that. And that's what separates that right there. The cat that said he followed me since he's been like this old and he want me to sign his helmet and all that stuff. And I'm like, cool, dude. You know what I mean? Like, he got a will from LZ and all this other shit. And it's like, man, you don't realize how to me it ain't a big deal, but it's like, man, people really be like kind of holding you to that regard, and it's kind of cool, man. It's kind of cool.
So just put the turbo in this, just have a nice fresh situation. I did all the maintenance, plugs, coil packs, wires, oil, everything is ready to roll. I got a Judge Amateur Drift Series this weekend at Thunder Hill, but it's a treat that the judges can drift, right? So I'm gonna go drift with the homies, then get up there and judge them and have a blast, prune some new drivers in the area, and just have fun, man. I just want to have some damn fun. I got invited to some driving school that I used to be an instructor for, and he just told me, man, I appreciate everything that you did, helping me get my shit off the ground, everything, because not everything's about money. Right? I don't give a fuck about you giving me money for whatever. You don't have to give me money for whatever, but just reaching back and saying, yo, you're the reason why I'm excelling right now. I really appreciate that. Anytime you want to drive, I'll give you my schedule. You just come up and tell me you're coming and let your son drive. So now I'm like, ooh, bing, big light pops up, giving my son the opportunity to drive. And that's really all that I'm chomping at the bit for right now, because I got to build my opponent.
Right.
I got to build my ideal opponent and tandem partners. So that's why I was just like, let me get this car ready, because if little dude gets to really whipping the vert, then we got to bring the cars out. And I don't want to have no shortcomings, and he might slip up and beat me in the vert. Not happening.
So, how's his knee doing?
Ah, dude, he's good to go, man. He was back riding Sunday, so exactly a week from his incident, I put him back on the bike and he was ready to rock. His mama was concerned that he was gonna be timid or scared to ride again. I said, nope, he ready to roll. He was ready to roll that day. That shit just hurt.
Yeah,
that shit hurt.
Yeah, shit. So, speaking on that, I don't know. I put up a video. Yeah, man. That shit. Yeah, I had my first hard fall, and I was like, man, luckily I had the helmet on, dude, because that shit just worked out. That like, it's just weird how your hand, the shit's falling in like the wheel. When the wheel had when I hit the brakes too much, the fucking wheel that like it turned in, and then like when it's turned in, it trapped my hand. No shit. It like the handlebar trapped my hand like on my leg, and then my other one, I don't know what the fuck I was trying to do, but my other hand got caught. I think I was trying to pull it up. My other hand, I mean, it all happened too fast. My other hand got trapped too.
Yeah, it happens that fast.
Yeah, and you think what you're going to do is you're going to roll and do like a somersault and whatever and judo roll out of it. No, dude, I went head, like it was, I didn't want to hit my head fucking first in a dirt, and a hard packed dirt. And
yeah, man, you hear so many people say what they gon' do. Oh, you should have just did. Be like, nigga, when that shit happens, it's like splam. What the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Just imagine like the dudes that really get hurt and get knocked out. Splam. How I get here, nigga? You scrubbed.
Yeah, man.
How though?
Like, that shit happens so fast, bro. It happens so fast, and you're like, you're in control, but you're not. And like, but yeah, man, to hit the ground, head fucking. I mean, even at it's about what 15 maybe the time.
Was your neck sore?
No. I mean, that's the only advantage I have is being, I haven't felt that contact since football, which has been years. And then also, like, I mean, fortunately, man, is one attribute I have going into this is I'm bigger than the average rider, so I got natural natural cushion.
Head,
yeah,
the natural Hans device.
Yeah, so if my neck was like smaller, I mean, maybe if a guy who had a smaller neck, man, it probably would have been because your neck, all that. That's why wrestlers and shit have big shoulders and traps because when they get punched in the face, that shit goes to the head, neck traps. Is a Mike Tyson shit so fucking big. That's why you can probably a regular dude will try to hit Mike now and it wouldn't even phase him. It'd take another pro guy to a series of shots and everything to put him down because you're absorbing that shit, man. And we talking about a young Mike, you know what I mean? That motherfucker was a lot bigger. So luckily for that, man, I can withstand a few. I don't want to fall too much, but yeah. That's not the key. Shit's gonna happen though, so you just kind of get back up and do all that stuff and stuff like that. So
that was the cool thing I told my son. I said, "You see how that hurt, right?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "That's the motivation to get good."
Right. You don't want to do that again.
That shouldn't slow you down because you're scared. That should make you be just as fast, but better, so that never happens. In that way, it doesn't happen again. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to fall, you're going to feel it again, but it's going to be from a different type of experience.
Right.
You're not going to fall the same way twice.
Right.
And it's taught him how to face his fears with things that hurt because you got to get in the shower and wash that shit, my boy.
Yeah.
Or else you're going to get an infection. Yeah. So get in there and scrub that mother. The first couple of days he's in the shower. Because you got to dig in that thing and scrub. But it's been it's a cool experience. He be limping around the house like quit limping, walk regular. Oh, but I know it's supposed to walk regular so that your body it automatically adjusts and your blood focuses there and you get healed up. Trust me, this is how it works. I'm no doctor, but I know that.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna work it out. So it's cool. Everything's been cool. I'm gonna probably bring him up there with me to the event. We'll probably have a scooter in the front of the trailer so he can scoot around and get back on the horse. That's all it's about. That's why when I saw you put the bike vlog up, I was watching it and this is like, this bike life now, baby.
Yeah, because the dude, like, he didn't, exact one thing he didn't, because we never talked about, I'd been in the game long enough, I know, like, it was a mild concussion for sure, but but I was like, I just need a break, right? Like a little small break, and then like after about 5 minutes, because I was seeing little stars and shit, and I'm like, man, I know what I'm seeing. Like, it's just like a fighter who's been knocked out before. Like, when you're right about to that point where you're about to
start getting closed. Yeah,
because that's what your body's doing to try to focus on what's right in front of you. So yeah, man, he was like, all right, it's cool, and he tried to give instructions. Like, nah, dude, I gotta go chill, man, for a second.
Right.
When I'm older and I'm not out here trying to ride for an AMA or I'm not going supercross shit like that. So it's like, let me chill, and I went back out there. But I went right back out there, and after you left, I was doing so. I finally got into the power band for the first time, man, cranking it up, and I was like, that's a different feeling right there. So it was just like, and the thing about it was like, I had to have a dude to tell me to do it because I was like kind of limping around, and he was just like, he kept like doing the throttle shit, and I was like, I'll just lean forward and I cracked that bitch, and I was like, oh shit, it stays down. I was like, yeah, because I thought if you crack it just lift up, and he was like, well, I see you like you're sitting forward, you got your hands at the night, I was in an attack position, so I was standing up. And like knees, like kind of your ass back, knees forward, and then like face over the handlebar, which is that shit right there. I was like, dude, I'm over the fucking handlebars, and I'm like accelerating, but I could feel as I'm accelerating, the bike ain't lifting up, and that made me go even harder. And I'm like, oh shit, and I'm like, oh man, so it's just getting orgasmic. Then I'm talking about the first 2 laps, and he just kept. What he was doing was there's this oval track there, a little oval. And he was like, accelerate, brake, and then he was telling me like how to tuck my foot up in the fender and then push. I was like, man, that's a lot of shit to do. And he's like, you got to push back on your back right foot at the time and put weight on so it gives traction. And I was like, man, that's a lot of. So he was, so pretty much I'm just drilling right now. I'm just going into the corner, putting the foot up, pushing down, accelerating, braking, and doing that. And then 10 times in, it starts to feel almost. Is feeling good, and then I what happened is I went the other way. That's when the fall happened. I was like, so I was like, go the other way. He's like, yeah. He's just about to tell me. So that was my drifter I was like, I know I don't want to get good going on only to the right.
Wait, yep.
So when I changed direction, he was just about to say, "Oh yeah, change." So it was like he could tell that I'm bringing in the drift shit to that, and then I went the other way. I did once, twice, and then that's when I fell, and because I was trying to change the mechanics, and I kind of fucked up, and I think I don't know what happened, man, but I came down, I braked, and then I hit the throttle again, and the bike shot forward, and I hit the brake again, and it understeered or whatever. So it was so you got to go both ways, man. You can't be that one way type of dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like me and my boy were playing around practicing drag launching on these, and as much power as this shit got, you know, on the 600, you fucking you're kind of just gliding the front wheel on that because the way it develops the power is very short range of power once you get into it. The power is so broad from very low in RPMs all the way to the rev limiter. You know, you just gotta manage it, and you could play with it, dude. We were digging out, and I know it looks crazy that we try this kind of shit on the street. You know, we're just at the stoplight talking. You know, we creep split lanes between cars to get to the front of the line, and then we just sit there. And these cars are sitting there, and we're just talking. And then when that light across the cross street goes yellow, all they saw was just both of the riders is like, Indian. Whoa! They were like, God damn, these dudes are taking off because we were flying. And then we go hit the back road. So we just was really having fun on these this weekend. Track days coming. I've been waiting for my suits to get here. But we're gonna have some fun shit coming up here very soon with these. Go do a couple track days. And just really put talent to the test. I've done track days before, but it's been 15 years since I did a motorcycle track day. So it'll be fun. It'll be like brand new again. My boy's never been on the track, so it's going to be like a dual moto vlog. We got the communications. We'll be talking and making fun of each other, laughing at each other the whole time. So the shit should be pretty great. So pretty entertaining.
Is he going to be on a 600?
Nah, he got a CBR 1000 RR.
Your boy?
So we both just went and bought. Yeah, like he went to LA and got exhausted, and I went down there and rode the bike the rest of the way. So yeah, we both just went and bought new bikes, new 1000s, and we rode 600s. And so we're just like, hey, let's just get these bikes and just have a blast. I did learn, so I'm wheeling this shit, and I had traction control on, and I'm up, and I'm having a blast. But the wheel speed sensor on the front noticed the speed variance with the back, activated and brought the bike down. Wham! I was like, what the fuck was that? I saw the lights flashing, so then I turned traction control off, and I go, and I'm riding a nice long wheelie again, and the same thing, it noticed the wheel speed variance, and it threw a check engine light. I'm like, what the hell? You set it down, I go through diagnostic mode, wheel speed sensor, variance and speed, boom, gotta clear it, and you're back in action. But this technology shit is it's interesting, dude. It helps you do good shit, but the IMU notices more things quicker than you'll notice them. So I'm trying to find the balance with man and machine on this, and once I perfect it, oh my God, I'm gonna be dangerous on this thing, man.
Yeah, it looks man, look, that thing looks mean back there. And I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah,
it looked like no, it kind of looks like a fox or a wolf face.
Yeah, it does. I wonder, do the LEDs cut on when I just hit the Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, man.
Yeah, it looks like no shit. The way it's like kind of cropped in the corner. It looks like a fox like about to like eat some shit or like preying on some shit, man. We're like, yeah, it looks crazy.
It's a bad motherfucker. It's not the fastest because everybody else's bikes, the newer bikes, are outrageously powerful. But man, what this thing is so damn usable. I've got a lot in the arsenal that I can mess with this bike. So, yeah, a lot of cool things to come with that. But right now, I'm just really excited to drive this thing again. And it's funny because I could have been driving it.
It's funny because we're both in embarking on something too, like getting cars. Because it was funny, man. I drove the I didn't realize the S13. I drove it up the shop, went to the truck, and then I pulled it off. I'm like, man, this is my first time driving this thing in 5.5, 6 years. Like just driving on it. It's been sitting with no engine in it for 5.5 years. And then inside of like 3 days in the engine, 3 days of building the engine and all that stuff. And now it's running again. This is a crazy feeling, man, to like kind of, and it gives you hope. Cause it's like, it ain't that we can't get all our shit running. It's just that, I mean,
we need the time
you need the time and to be real, man. The real is just we got families. We got responsibilities, man. You could be that guy who has like all your shit running, but then like you got your life is imbalanced, man. And like I'm about to put up one of my cars for sale on a Japanese side. I won't even list it for the Americans because I don't want to entertain the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? If they see it, they can buy it from there. But my R30 Skyline, man, I didn't really. But after I looked at it, I'm like, dude, I didn't get attached to the car because I only drove it 6 times since I owned it because it just had issues, and then I had other shit going on. So yeah, as soon as we get out of here, I'm about to actually throw it online and get some rent money because it's like, hey man, she was like, I don't want. I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? That selling that car has helped keeping the ones that, you know what I mean? Because there's certain ones that's off limits, but if I get to a point and I need that cash, man, I will sell it. You know what I mean? Because it's like I can build it again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's no problem there. It's just I don't want to get to that point where I'm selling the cars I don't want to sell. So right now I'm just relinquishing the cars that don't really mean much to me or I didn't really get attached to. So it is what it is, and that'll keep me open and keep things going, man. And that's like one thing right there, man. People like they think they see on the outside looking in, seeing it with LZ, man. That RX-70 sold, man. They don't know where that money went. That went to a round or something. They went to maybe giving them the money he needed to finalize the Drift HQ legality issues or lawyers or whatever. And people don't realize when they see people, Brap selling he sold his the R8 or whatever, and now he's getting full born and drifting. It looks like, man. So that's pretty cool to see. So it's only a matter of time before Brap and LZ I think link up probably. Right. Yeah. So that's pretty cool to see him getting into drifting over there with those cats. And like I said before, man, I kind of was like, I was like, man, it's kind of when you watch Brap channel, you see that he there's nothing wrong with it, man, but he stays with his own. You know what I'm saying? You can see it. Yep. And people like, I mean, he don't reach his other.
He tries to fuck with people that will. What's a better way to say it? So he likes to fuck with people that will let him have the run of whatever they got going on. Yep. Because if he tried to roll up in Adam's situation, it would be like a small fish in a big pond. Right. With that. Right. Right. And he likes to move around to be a big fish in the pond. So. Right.
I mean, I definitely peeped that. It's definitely peeped the. And just it is. It's kind of like because you watched the video when he did the exhaust. It's like that wouldn't go down in my shop. Like nobody's doing I don't do any type of work where some guy tried to do it, and he tried to he wanted to do one of the builds. He's not a vlogger, but he that's what he's going to start his thing on. And he wanted to just drop in. I'm like, nah, it's not going to happen. Nope. Yeah. And I was like, then that just soured the whole thing because he did a video when he dropped it off, and then that was it. He didn't do a video when he picked it up. When he picked it up, it was a bad vibe of all this great work I did, and I'm like, leave, dude. Like it was just like, all right, I don't even want to do a check ride with you. You're good. Because I knew I did what I had to do, but it just the vibe because he figured the amount of money he was spending in a car.
You were gonna let him
and I was like, nah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I see that with Brap's videos, and it's like, dog, I'd be in there like, hey, get the fuck out of here. Like, I got you. Right. You show track. We'll have or if I got a question, like, here, come here. Let's see how you fit in this, how you like this placement. And okay, cool.
Later.
I'll see you later. Yeah. But all of that running around inside my shop, inside my office, on the computer shit and all that. Nah, B. Nah.
So the guys he's rolling with the King's So I mean, they're I'm pretty sure they got by kind of allowing him to do what he's doing. I'm pretty sure they gotten some. I know
so.
I know that they gotten some customers. They probably gotten some complaints too in their local area and different things. But that's good publicity for them, man. But what I see, man, what I was getting at was it's cool that he. I like even though I wouldn't allow it, it's cool that they keep like all Puerto Ricans or whatever. They keep it tight, and that's nice to see, man, for my culture, dude. Like again, I call it how I see it, man. There's black cats in this town that don't fuck. They never been in my shop. They never dealt. They never worked with me, and they'll say their reasons why. It's like, hey, man, the reason why is not the reason why. Like, don't what I mean? Just say you don't want to. There's black, white cats, whatever. They just don't want to. And when I'm talking about culturally, it's like I'm American. I'm American in Japan. You know what I'm saying? You should be like, oh man, let me throw down here, but you're gonna give your shit to some dude.
No matter what I am.
Some dude gonna give your, and the black guys. The black thing is a whole different thing, but the American thing, we're all Americans, and they rather give their dude to a Tanaka, their money to a guy named Tanaka who don't give a fuck about them. Not saying that I'm invested in your personal life, but it's like we don't have a language barrier. I'm doing the same work, supporting an American, but you know what I mean? It is what it is. And then they want me to do like meats and all that shit. Like, nah, dude. You don't need to come to my shop to fucking buy shit. Why the fuck would I take money out and do a barbecue meat? You know what I mean? For dudes who they just would come there and eat food, hang out, and be all awkward and talk to themselves, not even holler at me. I did that before, and that shit was lame. I did a pizza party, had games, and they were all like fucking antisocial in their little circles and like checking out shit that wasn't supposed to be checked out. I'm like, dude, nah, man. So I've already attempted that. I don't want to be in that limelight where I'm the party shop guy. I don't want to do that shit. But it is what it is, man. We can't control that. Like I say with that too, I don't sit back and cry about because I don't get support from these guys. It ain't support is support, but it ain't. And that word too, man. To end it all on my end, man. That when you go to McDonald's, you're not fucking supporting McDonald's. You're fucking eating your hungry ass some fucking fries and a hamburger. You're not supporting. I mean, you know what I mean. You're giving them money, but it ain't like. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm getting at with that?
Yeah, I know exactly.
When you come to my shop, you getting the service. The support is whether you support me or not, I'm fixing your shit or I'm making it faster, but you're supporting my business by coming to it, but you're getting a service from me. So you ain't supporting like me, my Donald Jackson. You're supporting my shop that I can keep it open and get the stuff done, but at the same time, if it can make sense of that, guys, you're not buying stock in Hardee's or McDonald's or Chick-fil-A. You're going there because you like the way that sandwich tastes. So that people they gotta get that shit. They gotta stop mixing that shit up. I want to support you, man, but you're making it hard. I'm like, well, no, you don't. Because if you wanted to support me, you would come here when I say come here. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the time schedule we working at, man. Not when you want to do it.
Support is free.
Yeah.
Supporting me, is free.
Exactly.
If I'm doing a service for you, I'm making sure I'm giving you 100% of my abilities to make sure that you're happy with it. Right. And that's just purely off business, but I could just do the job and put it together and send you on your way. But if I do the job, put it together, make sure that this is immaculate and clean, offer you extended portion of my services and warranties and all of this shit. I'm giving you everything that I can for your dollar so that you keep bringing your dollar to me.
Right.
So that, you know what I'm saying, keep this relationship going. I can't earn your business without you willing to support me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know what the hell that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always, just like I said with the guys that were saying that they were going to support. Oh man, you should do more videos. I for sure you ain't supporting the ones I'm putting out.
Nah. Yeah. So you tell me I gotta do more to get it. Like, nah. Well, yeah, that's wild right there. Like, so you're saying all the shit I did, all the hours in editing and events I went to that that shit costs money, man. That shit costs money to drive to those events, do that stuff, and I just happen to bust out the camera because the thing what they don't know is how many times you didn't even bring out the camera. That's what they don't. They think like you're they correlate your events with the amount of videos you post. Like, man, that's only a fraction of what I've actually done.
Yeah,
and the stuff that goes around. So that's where Adam and people, even with as much shit as he posts, there's still a lot of shit he don't post, man. They don't get that. He just happened to do it in a vlogging fashion. Like Brap is a little bit. I think his shit frequency is more higher, but it's a little bit different. And he's getting into the drift thing, so now he's bringing a different crew of guys in. I commented on it a couple times and kind of give him some pointers in hopes that. Not in hopes that, but like maybe somebody be like, "Who the fuck are you?" Then like, "Hey, click on my channel and find out." So it's like I didn't have to comment, but I was like maybe, and nobody really did. I guess he clicked on it. I got a bunch of likes on it, so maybe they clicked on my shit and seen, "Oh, this dude's he does this too," or he does this too, but because the rap is just starting. But it is what it is, man. I was pitted right next to the King guys. We didn't really talk. I said what's up to him, but that was it. And They kind of did leave a bunch of trash behind, but that's another story right there and everything, man. So yeah, that's it. We keep it to the streets. They was like, who? I was like, I don't know, man. That somebody left a bunch of race fuel right there next to the trash can, and they just kind of got out of there. So they may or may not made it a little bit tougher for the HQ guys because I'm pretty sure they had to clean all that shit up and make sure that they can come back. So I made sure every zip tie, everything we picked all that shit up. We cleaned. Any oil that spilled, we dapped it up with towels and make sure we didn't leave anything behind for those guys to clean. Man. So it is, man. We'll chop it up more, man. We can always go forever.
Yeah.
2 hours 37 minutes. We supposed to end this shit like 40 minutes ago.
so Seattle this weekend. We'll check that out.
Got that.
And I got that drift event going, and I'll finally shred this car again. I'm gonna put the Falcon 660s on the back of here. Okay. So this will be a fucking handful, but it's gonna be great.
I'll be like I'm waiting on. I'm just waiting on a radiator, and I'm waiting on intercooler couplers for the particular stuff I'm running. Then I'll be able to actually go test it. The engine runs and everything. Everything's good. And then I'm actually riding. I'm going to a different motocross track this Sunday. So it's like, now I'm like the drifted shit, man. It's like, not saying I don't need seat time, but it's like, bro, I've done enough seat time where I could hop in the car like I did the other day with my guys at the track, and it's like, I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like the bike shit, I want to learn that because maybe that's gonna open up a different door that I don't know is there, and people don't see why at 38 I'm picking up a motorcycle. It's because, dude, that's the whole different demographic of people who I can reach. Yeah. That's a whole different demographic of connections I can make. And you're like, oh shit, but you're a pro fucking level drifter. Let's do this. So it's like, let's say it happens because I definitely, I've been on his channel, Brap's channel. Let's say the dude want to come to Japan. Connection that we'll have is I'm nice enough to ride a bike if he comes over. I got bikes here, whatever. I mean, that's far fetched. I mean, maybe they're not interested in Japan, but let's say that happens, man. That'll be pretty cool. And I got actually riding experience. I'm not as nice as him at all. It's not my thing. I'm not even gonna do that. But I can at least hold my own on a bike and everything and stuff like that. So that'd be pretty cool if it happens, man. So that's why I'm doing it, because it's new skills. And it's like, hey man, I never told nobody I knew how to ride a bike, but it's just one of those things where I just felt as a man, there's some things you should be able to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
when you watch a movie, you watch Keanu, I didn't know he was a bike guy, but you watch him jump from the car to the bike, and it's like, I wonder, can he really do that now? He actually can really do that shit. He can actually really ride a bike, and it's not a stunt guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
now they still use it for stunts.
Yeah, they still use it for stunts, but he's actually, to know that he's he's a co-owner of a bike company and different stuff, and he does martial arts, he shoots guns, and like, so it's like, it's just good to have multiple talents. In fact, what I'm getting at, it's just good to have.
Yep.
And like I said, man, I bet my month's salary that you're the only guy at that getaway shit that could drive a car like that and probably ride a bike like that, man. Yeah, I don't think, what I mean? Like, not only ride a bike, but do the shit you do on a bike, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's what Shamar keep telling me. He be like, keep pushing, man. He said, if you really want to jump in the industry, it don't matter the age, and doesn't matter nothing. Somebody's gonna need your type of person for something, And he was like, they just got to know that you exist. So, like, all right, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. So,
yeah, I got homies.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep pushing myself, doing all kind of shit.
This guy, remember the guy I told you about, man? I told him 12:30, right? It's 12:08, and he's already calling me. Yeah, this dude's just, yeah, man. He's just, yeah, man. I'm gonna call before 12:30 because I think you're good for it. I said 12:30 because I'm doing some shit. Like that.
Right.
This I think I'm about to, because this deal about to get nixed because I don't. Yeah, people like that, man, they just don't get it. And like face to face, he seemed like he was a cool guy, but when you get away from him, they start acting weird and emails and stuff like that. So let me get out of here, man, and get
all right, bud,
and get myself ready for this conversation.
Okay, cool.
And all that stuff, man. But yeah, man, it'll be all good and everything. So guys, again, just be sure to check out KOE Family, Lexis YouTube. Check them out on Instagram, Lex_King_24. And then for mine, again, Pinku Style everything on all the social medias, and you'll check me out there again. Again, guys, the subscribers are going up a little bit. The guys who are starting to get more comments, more interactions. I'm not gonna do a lot of giveaways and stuff like that, man, because what I mean, it's I'll do them here and there, but I'm not trying to grow my channel like that. And if you want to support and you want to do all that stuff, man, just do what it is. But I don't feel like I should be able to give it away. I'm already giving away stuff, giving away my time, our time, by editing all the stuff up. And obviously, man, from the last one with Matt on, a lot of you guys are definitely watching and you're definitely motivated by what we're doing, man. So just make it happen, man. Just know out there, me and Lex been in the game for over 20 years collectively. Well, actually combined 40 years, but
I was about to say,
so
that's for sure.
So it's his 20 years, my 20 years put them together. That's 40 years of when you open a business. We have over 50 years of experience because one guy been working at it for 20 years, another guy been doing whatever.
Guy for 30. Yeah.
Right. So it's like we didn't get here where we at right now to Lex again behind with the car and the bikes and again all that stuff you don't see up the screen. It's a lot of stuff that we had to sacrifice, a lot of years we had to take off to do things to make things happen, man. So when you new guys are watching this and looking at this, man, don't give up as soon as you get your first bump on the road, as soon as you lose an engine, as soon as you do that, that's part of the game. And when you fall off there and hurt your leg, that's part of the game. You know what I'm saying? You got to be prepared for it and just know that it could happen, but, just do your thing. So to stay motivated, man, however you got to do it and get past that. And that's all my thing with this channel. Again, I'm not, if it happens, I get 1 million, 2 million, whatever subscribers, that don't define me. I'm still going to be the same guy. But at the same time, the guys, I do appreciate the ones there who do listen to, who do watch. You know what I'm saying? The dude, guy Zachary down in Florida, always comment. So I know for sure that Zach's always watching. You know what I mean? That's pretty cool to know that that there's going to be at least one guy out there watching this video that you make. So
for sure,
and that's all it's worth, man. And again, the dude, the guy that I'm talking about, we talked about in the last podcast with the not last podcast, but the joint with the Atlanta joint. Dude had on the ride, he had on the ride squad gear, lanyard, shirt, and he's standing next to me, which we're all connected by me talking to Lex all the time, ride squad member. So it's like, man, that's crazy, man, how that all works, man. And we did a picture together, and I'm Pinku Style, he's Riot Squad. And it's like, your Riot Squad, Lex is already there by way of being in the shirt he's wearing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, by way of association, man. So it's cool shit, man. So again, guys, be stern on your shit. Don't be closed off to new interactions, but at the same time, be you and don't allow nobody to change who you are, man. So just be cool on that. And that's all we can do in this life that we got, man. So again, it's gonna be Diane signing off from South Japan, Lexis from Richmond, California. We'll see you guys later. Peace.